Welcome, everyone. This is your friend, the DN What If, here with another exciting fanfiction. Today, we're diving into the story. If you enjoy this video, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fanfiction content just like this. Now, let's get started with the fanfic. Chapter 1. 01. Mom, I awaken my quirk. Midoriya Izuku, a quirkless boy who is constantly bullied. One day the bullying got worse. The bullies even told Midoriya to end his life by jumping from a building. But Midoriya didn't do it. He still remembered his mother, who was alone at home, with a feeling of tiredness and depression. Midoriya went home. Without saying hello to his mother, he entered his room. All this happened just because Midoriya wanted to be a hero, someone who helps selflessly and has a never-give-up spirit when facing any problem. This world is this. If only I could awaken my quirk. A useless one is okay. Please, God, if you're out there hearing my prayer, please awaken my quirk, he said while whispering. Midoriya turned towards the door. He felt like a failure as a son because he had made his mother worry. Izuku, are you okay? Inko said worriedly, a mother who was worried about the condition of her only child. I'm fine, Mom. I'm just tired. Earlier in PE class, my teacher told us to run around the field 10 times, but some of us couldn't. Our teacher got angry and increased it to 20 times running around the field. Oh, then come out later if you're hungry. Mom has cooked your favorite food. Okay, Mom, Midoriya said with tears in his eyes because he didn't make the decision to throw himself from the top of the building. He still has loved ones here, and he would not waste this opportunity. Mom, Midoriya shouted at his mother, and his mother, who heard him, answered, What's wrong, Izuku? Hearing his mother's answer, Midoriya said with determination, Mom, I will train my body so that during PE lessons I won't be as exhausted as I am now. Inko opened Midoriya's door and said, Okay, let's do it together. Inko approached Midoriya and hugged her beloved son. Midoriya, who was hugged by his mother, suddenly lost consciousness. This made Inko panic. She tried to wake Midoriya up by any means, but the result was nil. With no other choice, Inko finally took Midoriya to the nearest hospital. Izuku, what happened to you? Inko muttered in panic as she carried Izuku to the hospital. Midoriya Izuku POV. Where am I? What happened? Wasn't I fine earlier? Why am I in a strange place now? Midoriya Izuku. I turned and saw a man with a chiseled body. With a suspicious look, I looked at him with trepidation. Who are you? Where am I? Is my mother okay? Now, we are no threat to you, and your mother is safe out there in the world. You are in your subconscious, and we are heroic spirits. But there is only you in here. Are you some weirdo saying we as I? Not like that. Well, actually, I can use we as I because when I was alive, I was a king to my people, and no. I use we here because there are more people here. And I forgot to introduce myself. Pleased to meet you, young Midoriya. My name is Leonitis I, King of Sparta. What? Shocked Pikachu expression. No way, the King of Sparta? Are you into some ancient movie? That is one of the oldest movies out there right now. Can we just return to where I was before? Sigh. Guys, please come out and help me explain to this young Midoriya. I'm not good enough to explain it to him. Suddenly, 6 other people appeared from the darkness. Among them, there are some who look like people cosplaying as medieval knights. There are some that look like Greek troops. There are some that look like samurai and someone with a bow and arrow. Lastly, there's a woman with nice fashion. Leonardo da Vinci-chan is here to help. But let's just wake young Midoriya first. His mother is worried because he's been too long here. And after that, my vision blacked out, and I found myself in a hospital bed with my mom beside the hospital bed. Third POV. Izuku, thank God you're awake now. You make Mom worried right there. What happened to you, Izuku? Since when do you get a tattoo, Mr. Izuku? Answer me. Why are you tattooing the back of your hand? Midoriya is puzzled. When he sees his hand, there is a mark. A tattoo with a design of a planet with a ring and a spear? He is not sure himself what that is, but something is calling, deep inside his head, someone calling him. Congratulations, Young Izuku, you have awakened your command spell. Not that you will use that, but that spell is proof that you awaken your quirk. Leonitis. Mom, I think I awakened my quirk, Midoriya awkwardly said to his mother, Inko, who heard this and was shocked. Is it true that her son awakened his quirk at the age of 13? Really? You got this tattoo because of your quirk awakening? So what is your quirk, son? Ask Inko if she's curious about Izuku's quirk. I don't know the details, but there is someone in my head that is introduced as the hero of the past. There are 7 people there, 2 of them I know the names of. What is it again? Yes, his name is Leonitis I, King of Sparta, and the second one is Leonardo da Vinci. At least that's what she says. Is Leonardo da Vinci a woman? Inko said, not believing what Izuku said. Izuku, who heard it, felt a little strange because Leonardo da Vinci was a woman. Did the history books write this wrong? Izuku doesn't understand either. Young Midoriya, I know you didn't believe us, but let us introduce ourselves. Leonitis I, Achilles, Bedivere, Arash, Sasaki Kojiro, Arareaha. I forgot about that. His name was Lancelot, and lastly I'm the genius Leonardo da Vinci. Izuku, who heard their introduction, startled. Mom, I awaken my quirk. And in my mind, there is a legendary figure across all the time. I think I can become a hero, Izuku said as he turned to Inko with a sincere smile and teary eyes. Inko, who saw this, also smiled happily. Her beloved child finally didn't look depressed anymore because Inko saw a fire of hope in her child's eyes. Of course you can, you are my little hero after all. Ahem! A sound appeared that made Izuku and Inko turn their heads towards the sound, and the doctor who was treating Izuku was seen standing with a sheet of paper. Sorry if I ruined your warm atmosphere, but as you already know, Midoriya Izuku has successfully awakened his quirk. The type is not yet known, but I came here to give you this form. I hope you fill this sheet out so I can enter the data into the quirk database. That's very important if you want to register to be a hero. Inko, who heard that, nodded. She knew this was important after all. It was already a law that everyone who had a quirk register their quirk. The doctor this time made their registration more easily. Izuku then filled out the form. 5 minutes passed, and Izuku finally finished filling in all the data on the form. Name, Midoriya Izuku, quirk, heroic spirit? That's unique. I hope you become one of the best heroes out there. I believe you can do that, young man. Never give up and plus ultra. At the very least, that's all I can say. Have a nice day, ma'am, young man. The doctor said as he walked out of the room. Hey Izuku-chan, you know what? I, the invincible Da Vinci, have good news for you. Da Vinci. Izuku was a little surprised and then said, what's the good news? Inko, who heard Izuku's words, turned her head with a confused look. Izuku? What's wrong? It's nothing, Mum. The heroic spirit in my mind said there was good news, so I asked what it was. Izuku explained awkwardly. Inko, who heard the explanation, smiled and said, oh, so what's the good news? The good news is that we can materialize into this world, but the bad news is that you still don't have a magic circuit to do that, so I will guide you to do something and increase your magic circuit and possibly increase your mana pool. Da Vinci. Hearing Da Vinci's words, Izuku began to explain to his mother that Da Vinci said it was good news. Oh, and there's one good news. The good news is that we can interact with the outside world via possessing you, so if we deem your situation as dangerous, then we will take over your body. Sorry, but not sorry. That's something we must do as long as you're safe. Hello there, Miss Inko, pleased to meet you. I'm Da Vinci. Da Vinci said, doing a cute pose while possessing Izuku's body. Hello, shocked Pikachu face. That's embarrassing. Please refrain from doing that pose using my body. I can't even imagine myself. Support me _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. 6 comment. Chapter 2, 02. Let's travel to Kyoto. Izuku POV. I, my mother, and the servants in my body left the hospital and returned home, the safest place in my memory. Throughout the journey I also allowed Da Vinci to take control of my body, For some reason, even though they had only been with me for a few hours, I felt like I could trust them. While Da Vinci controlled my body, I entered my subconscious. I was greeted again by 6 servants. They were strong. I could feel their aura, especially Sasaki, Kojuru, and Achilles. They have a strong aura but are not aggressive? While Lancelot has a strong intimidation aura. Welcome, I guess, as you already know. My name is Arash. As a welcome gift, I will grant you one of my skills. Robust health. Now, after you get your magic crest on, your training will become easier. What is that? I'm confused by what Arash said. Arash, who heard this, just smiled and said, that's just an ordinary skill that will help you in your training later. I just nodded at his explanation, but when I looked at the others, they had funny faces. As if holding back their laughter. Now I don't know if the skill is worth it or not. The last thing I want is a skill that makes me strong at the cost of my sanity. There's a skill like that. Izuku then turned to look at Arash, with a face showing a shocked expression. Izuku asked, "What? Does anyone have a skill like that?" "Oh hell nah. Don't give me a skill like that." "Yeah, Lancelot right there has that skill." "Wait, Lancelot?" "Seem like Lancelot is feeling down right now. I'm sorry," Arash explained while coaxing Lancelot, who was sitting in the corner. Seeing their behavior put a smile on Izuku's face. Maybe this is what it feels like to have a big family? We are not alone anymore. Right, Mom? "Hey kiddo, I'm the rider-class servant, Achilles. The heroic spirit well known for having his heel as his weak point. Well, to catch a hold of my heel is not something just anyone could do. The name, mankind's fastest legs, is not just for show. And my gift for you is this, my spear. Diatricon Asterlonk, until I deem you worthy, I will not give you more skill." I looked at Achilles seriously. I got his spear, which in mythology he got from his father, which his father got from Chiron. The sage Chiron, the hero maker of Greek mythology. "I will not disappoint you," I said with strong determination. "I want to be a hero like them." "Midoriya Izuku, nice to meet you. Your resolve to become a hero is admirable. Still, you're just too weak right now, and I myself am not the best saber-class servant. I'm sorry because right now I can only give you my riding skill. This skill makes you able to ride any model of transportation, be it a bike or even a plane. Oh, I nearly forgot, Sir Lancelot gave you Eternal Arms Mastery, feeling guilty because he nearly gave you Mad Enchantment. Izuku thanks Bedivere for giving him his skills. He also apologizes to Lancelot for making him feel down. Suddenly Izuku felt something strange. He felt like he saw an attack, but no one had attacked him yet. He then turned towards Sasaki Kojuru, who was seen holding his Nodachi. "That, young man, the skill I gave you, Eye of the Mind, although that is the false one," Sasaki said with a smile. Izuku, who heard it, then began to understand what the Eye of the Mind was. In general, this skill allows him to see potential dangers and enemy attack movements. At least that's what he got from the experience earlier. "Lastly, you will get my gift, young Midoriya. My gift is Pride of Rearguard. The more odds stacked against you, the stronger you are." Somehow I feel like my training is going to be harder than I thought. I don't know, maybe it's just my imagination. Bring it on, I'm not afraid of anything, especially my training, or that's what I thought. Third POV. Da Vinci, who controls Izuku's body, is talking to Inko about various things, from fashion and beauty tips to tricks for maintaining youth. They chatted until Inko asked about their plans. "By the way, Da Vinci-chan, you said that there is a thing that can enchant Izuku and make him strong. I was wondering what that is." "Fufu, you may not know this, but back then when we could use magic, there was a thing called a magic crest, and lucky for Izuku-chan, I could give him that magic crest. Still, that is not really what we aim for. After all, after Izuku has enough magic power to summon me into the real world, I will make a mystic code." "Wait, what is mystic code again?" Inko was curious about the item because she herself was unfamiliar with this new thing. A mystic code is a magical artifact or item worn by a magus that acts as a support tool to enhance their magical abilities, often providing additional power or specific effects during combat. Well, the one that I will make is essentially functioning like a generator for Izuku-chan. And what I will make is Galvanism Mystic Code. That is a cheat code to make Izuku stronger. And how is that supposed to make Izuku stronger? Inko asked Da Vinci again, and Da Vinci, who heard this, could only smile. Because if she explained that she would implant this mystic code into Izuku's body to make a magic crest, maybe Inko would never agree. Let's just say that I created a battery for Izuku so he can spam our ability so he will never be in a dangerous situation, but still, if Izuku is in danger, we are ready to help and keep Izuku safe. Inko nodded. They were already in front of the apartment. Inko took out the key and started to open the door. Welcome home. Even though it's not much, I hope that you, heroes who helped my son, can consider this your home. Of course, even though it's like this, we actually also saw Izuku's memories, so you can consider us Inko mom's family. Da Vinci said with a smile. Inko, who heard that, could only smile sincerely. Maybe the time when mother and child were alone was over, replaced by a big family atmosphere. Oh yes, Inko mom, you know we are going to make a mystic code, right? And actually we need the ingredients, not too many, only 12 ingredients, and this is affordable. I need. Da Vinci gave 12 ingredients needed, and according to Inko, these items are easy to obtain too. Is there anything else besides this ingredient? I don't understand this kind of thing, so to make your work easier, please just say it. Da Vinci's gaze softened, seeing Inko, who was full of attention and affection, made Da Vinci touch. The truth is we need a place with a ley line, a place with abundant mana, and if I'm not wrong, there is a place like that in Japan. That place is Kyoto. If we have time, we can go there and shorten the time to make this mystic code. Kyoto? Well, Kyoto is it? Let's go travel to Kyoto. I'll pack first, Inko said excitedly. To be continued. Ramadan Kareem, may this month be full of blessings. Support me _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment. 6 comment. Chapter 3. Picnic more like ritual. So this is Kyoto. That is definitely Da Vinci, because that's what Da Vinci would say. Just Da Vinci doing what Da Vinci does. Yes, by the way. Let's go to the hotel first. At least after we have a place to rest, we can explore Kyoto more freely, Inko said while carrying her luggage. Inko mom, it seems like this is going to be your and Izuku-chan's bonding time, so we will not disturb your time together. Until next time, probably next time I will have my own mana construct body, Da Vinci said while waving her hand. Shortly after, Izuku regained control of his body. So, Mom, how is it going? Did you have fun with Da Vinci? Izuku asked because since yesterday he had not been controlling his body. He was in his subconscious, learning what a heroic spirit was and getting some light training, only in avoiding some Sasaki attack. For some reason it seems that Sasaki-san feels bored, so Izuku becomes a place for him to vent and at the same time try out the Eye of Mind gift that he gave to Izuku. Great, I feel like I have another child. Come on Izuku, we have to quickly check in. Oh yeah, I've also asked permission from your teacher that we have a family event so you can't attend lessons for a week. At least that's what I said, and Da Vinci also said 1 week is more than enough so we can enjoy our family time, Inko said cheerfully. Izuku, who saw his mother cheerful again, also smiled. After he failed to awaken his quirk at a young age, his mother started blaming herself to the point where she didn't take care of her body. Hey you all, after you get a mana construct body, I hope you will protect my mom please. Izuku. That easy. There is no one that can defeat me in this world, after all. I too have already become fond of this mom of yours. She reminds me of my mother, goddess Thetis. Achilles. We will, young Midoriya. Now your job is to make your mom the happiest mother out there, make her happy, and we will do the rest. Protecting her is a trivial matter when we have Da Vinci's tools later. Leonitis. You're right, maybe I'm just overthinking. I just don't want to lose my family. Izuku. Easy there, kiddo. This is the beginning of your story. There will be no loss at the beginning of the story, so use this time wisely. Train harder until your bones become diamonds. Sasaki. Is that even possible? Izuku. Da Vinci can make that happen. Want to try? Da Vinci. Oh hell nah Rayaf, all. Izuku POV. During the day, my mother and I had a great time. We visited one of the famous temples in Kyoto, took photos, and even met a hero on duty. There are no villain attacks, just rescue missions. I think we're back to the time when I was a kid and dreamed of being a little knight. All Might sidekicks. But that dream was shattered when I failed to awaken my quirk. Now I am more mature, maybe because of the influence of the heroic spirits. Even though I've only known them for 3 days, it feels like I've known them for a long time. It's night now and we're back at the hotel. Da Vinci is also making a catalyst for his mystic code. And me? I'm getting abused. Sasaki-sensei, why do your attacks always hit me? I thought I could see your attack, but suddenly it swerved as if what you were holding was not a sword but a W. Izuku. That's because I have more experience than you. I've been holding a sword for longer than you are now, and also, I'm not even taking you seriously. Sasaki. Time out, Da Vinci is already done making the catalyst. Push. Oh, finally. My job is it. Sasaki. Sasaki's task is to sneak into the temple area on Mount Kurama. Without waking Inko, Izuku, who was controlled by Sasaki, left the hotel, and then he walked towards Mount Kurama. Hey kiddo, your body Esikus. This body is too weak. Luckily, Da Vinci already made the catalyst so this body can absorb some mana. You are lucky because Arash gave you his skills, robust health. That skill is just straight up cheating. Sasaki traveled for 30 minutes. Finally, he arrived at the Kurama mountain area. He then rushed up the mountain. 30 minutes later, he arrived at the location given by Da Vinci. Hey kiddo, I will get serious when you start your training. Just you wait, kiddo. Sasaki said annoyed, because Izuku's body was too weak even though he had the help of Arash's skill. Izuku's body was still considered weak. Should I be worried? Fashizel, Da Vinci. Ah, what is that? Nothing, now excuse me. There is a job that needed my genius mind. This is my time to shine. Not long after, Izuku handed over control of his body to Da Vinci. Da Vinci, who was experienced in using Izuku's body, immediately made a diagram of the ritual needed to create the mystic code. Let silver and steel be the essence. Let stone and the Archduke of Contracts be the foundation. Let the catalyst pay tribute to. Let rise a wall against the wind that shall fall. Let the 4 cardinal gates close. Let the 3-forked road from the crown reach unto the kingdom rotate. I hereby declare. Your skill shall serve under me. Then answer. Frankenstein. As if in response, the catalyst in the middle of the ritual lit up fiercely. Da Vinci, who saw this, smiled because she managed to ask Franchon to give her skills via this catalyst. Now, this is the hard part. I'm going to connect this to Izuku-chan's heart. Da Vinci then placed the mystic code near Izuku's heart. Let's hope this works, Sir Lancelot. After this, I want you to take over Izuku-chan's body and use your noble phantasm. Without warning, Da Vinci stabbed the blade-shaped catalyst into Izuku's heart. Rare Aghags. Wow, that must hurt. Da Vinci. Everyone looked at Da Vinci with a dead stare. If they were to replace Sir Lancelot, it is not certain that they would be able to endure this pain without feeling angry. But, because anger makes Sir Lancelot stronger, this is actually the best thing for Sir Lancelot. And Lancelot, who felt the pain immediately, used his noble phantasm, Knight of Honor. That noble phantasm is cheating, because anything Lancelot touches will become something equivalent to a noble phantasm. Although the quality does not exceed rank D. But if the object has a higher rank than that Knight of an Owner, then that object retains their rank. That's cheating considering the galvanism skill given by Frankenstein has a B+ rank. Now that Izuku has a mana generator, the final stage is just waiting for this catalyst to fuse with Izuku's body to form a magic circuit. Hey, looks like it worked. Wait a minute. I'll try to materialize my body. Da Vinci. The other heroes heard Da Vinci's words, and they immediately tried to materialize their bodies. Tada! The invincible Da Vinci has arrived. Yahoo! Da Vinci was, as usual, cheerful in his own way, but he forgot one berserker creature. There stood Lancelot with a crazy, intimidating aura. Can you forgive me? Rare aghags. Lancelot ran after Da Vinci, quickly uprooting nearby trees and using his noble phantasm to create many weapons. Help me, you guys, don't just stand there, forgive me, please. Kaya. That funny sheet right there, ta. We all laughed at their behavior. Even though Sir Lancelot looked angry, he wasn't really angry. He could at least control his mad enchantment skills. He just pranked Da Vinci because of that trivial thing. That, throwing trees like noble phantasm just a prank, just wow. Looks like it's time for us to go home, guys. They nodded. After 6 more days, Izuku would start his hellish training. Wish me luck. Support me _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. 3 comment. Chapter 4. The Beginning of Hero. For 1 week, Izuku and his mother spent their time having fun and doing all kinds of activities. Inko has also seen servants materializing their bodies, and the first thing Inko did was to invite Da Vinci to go shopping at the mall. Who knows what they were thinking, leaving Izuku, who had to learn more about Magecraft. So, to strengthen myself, I can use reinforcement? How does that work? Izuku asked in confusion. That's simple actually. What you need to do is fill the gap between your molecular structure. That will make your body stronger. Wait, according to the book, you have to learn structural grasp first, so let's use your phone as a practice tool. Hell nah, why not just use the hotel television? It would be easier. Izuku suggested it because he didn't want his phone to get damaged from this training. You will pay? That good. So stop yapping and start your training. The first step is to feel your mana and then release it at your phone slowly, then imagine the structure of your phone. Unable to bargain, Izuku could only follow what Sasaki ordered. First he channeled the mana in his heart. The mana flowed to his hand. Then it flowed towards his phone. Izuku then started to imagine the structure of his phone, but something was strange. When he did it, there was something that felt wrong, like it was out of place. Opening his eyes, Izuku looked at his phone. His phone was still fine. Nothing was wrong. So what was wrong with that strange feeling earlier? I don't know what happened, but every time I do what you told me to do, there's a strange feeling that always appears. What is it? Is there something wrong with my practice? Sasaki, who heard that, immediately looked back at the book that Da Vinci had given him. It says here that it is natural because you instinctively see using your eyes, and what you just did is called mana sensing. So that's a common thing to happen when learning structural grasp? Izuku said while nodding his head. Not really. It says here that only people who have the talent and origin that suit this Magecraft will experience this. Congratulations, I guess. Do I have a talent in this Magecraft? Well, that's neat. So what happened if I do that with my open eyes? Izuku said while repeating the structural grasp learning steps. This time Izuku could see clearly what was happening. He saw the circuit, the flexible cable, the motherboard, and many more things that made him not believe it. He can X-ray. Although for now he can only look at inanimate objects and see the structure of how they are made, aka. He has the blueprint of that object. This is cheating. I can see their blueprints and sell them to their rival companies, although I would never do that, probably. Whoa, you're quite evil, aren't you? Thinking about it that way, and since you already know the structural grasp, in Da Vinci's book you are not advised to try it. The word is, wait until Da Vinci lets you study it yourself, which is not going to happen. It's so annoying, but I like this style. But don't you think this is too strange? Why am I so fast in learning Magecraft, even though I don't know anything about this at all? Oh yeah, that Da Vinci fault, she gave you her skill. Natural-born genius. She gave you the skill but didn't tell you about it. What a genius. Wait, what? So I can go speedrun in my Magecraft training? Wow, just wow. Now I'm on fire. What do I do next, sensei? The next thing to do according to these books is that you need to use your structural grasp on your body and see gaps between the molecular structure and fill it with mana. We need to train this until you can do reinforcement instinctively. Izuku did what Sasaki said. He used structural grasp on his body. Not long after that, Izuku saw the gap that Sasaki meant. The gap was big enough for the size of a molecule. But when Izuku tried to fill it with mana, the result he got was that his mana couldn't fill the void. It wasn't because his mana capacity was small, but every time he tried to fill it, his mana would immediately flow out of his body. Ugh, why is it so hard to fill the gaps in my molecular structure? I think I've done it right, but it still fails. Stupid, you miss the gap but do not close the top, you know? If you fill a glass with water, eventually the glass will overflow. That's what happens to you. You have to make a cover your skin with mana, compress that mana to close the gap in your skin. Besides, where did you fill the gap in your body earlier? As if enlightened, Izuku immediately tried to do it. He filled the gaps in his skin and then compressed his mana, strengthening his mana adhesion. After feeling satisfied, Izuku immediately filled the gap in his bones. Something bad happened. Izuku's bones cracked because they couldn't withstand the amount of mana given by Izuku. Ouch, what is happening now? Izuku groaned in pain. Sasaki, who saw Izuku, just laughed. Why are you laughing instead of telling me how this happened? Enduring the pain, Izuku said to Sasaki. You stupid, why do you immediately strengthen bones after skin? Basically, bones have a greater density than skin. So what you are doing is wrong. The order is skin, muscle, then bone. But you skip the muscle reinforcement stage and go straight to the bones. Also, your bones aren't made to withstand too much mana. You're still an amateur. Thank Arash for his skill because he made you have strong endurance. Now what? Should I stop? Izuku said, confused about what to do after this. Shortly after that, Inko and Vinci arrived at the apartment. They saw Izuku, who was holding his hand, and Sasaki, who was laughing. Vinci, who saw this, also laughed. Vinci herself had predicted that this would happen. Because the book doesn't tell Izuku to train his reinforcement on inanimate objects. But he immediately reinforced his body. Izuku, come here for a moment, I'll speed up your healing. Izuku, who heard this, immediately approached Vinci. Vinci quickly manipulated his mana, speeding up Izuku's healing by continuously triggering the robust health skill. 30 seconds later, Izuku is now back as good as new. Vinci then told Izuku that he should practice reinforcing on inanimate objects first, instead of using it directly on his body. But it's written in the book that I have to strengthen my skin, muscles, and bones to get perfect reinforcement. Really? I don't remember about that. I just remember putting how to use structural grasp and basic reinforcement, which I even told you in the book to try on paper, not your body. Wait, so what Sasaki-sensei said is not from the book? Izuku then looked at Sasaki sarcastically. So that's how it is, huh? Are you satisfied, sensei? Never. Huh. I've never felt this satisfied, huh? Sir Lancelot, give me your best weapons. Rafa. Lancelot roared as he gave the best weapon near him, the powerful mother's sandals. Hiya. They smiled as they saw Izuku and Sasaki chasing each other. Moments like this would be very rare when they were seriously training Izuku. At least they will make Izuku a great hero. Support me _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment. Chapter 5. 05. Hero in making one. Come on Izuku, you can do it. Just that much of a burden, and you're going to give up just like that? Where's the spirit you had earlier? This speech won't clean itself. Hey, your form is ugly. Don't use that movement to lift weights. Use your back muscles to make it easier. It's not that stupid. Don't use your waist. Quickly move that thing, then we'll take a break. Many people may be confused about what Izuku is doing, but it seems that when Achilles wanted to go fishing with Leonitis on the beach, they found that the beach was dirty and full of countless junk items. They made an agreement to make this beach Izuku's training ground. And now Izuku is doing his training on his first day. In the morning, Izuku goes to school as usual, but when the afternoon comes, he is told to go to Takoba Beach. And Izuku's training officially begins. Actually, Izuku is already quite good at his training. It's just that Leonitis, as his instructor, doesn't want Izuku to just be good, he wants Izuku to go beyond his limits. Izuku, who heard Leonitis' screams, began to follow his orders. He started to figure out how to carry the stuff without hurting his body, and did he say that he couldn't use reinforcement? Well, in general, Izuku has Mstred reinforcement. It's just that during this training, Izuku is prohibited from using it. Soon Izuku finished with 1% of the trash on Takoba Beach. He walked back to Leonitis because he had told Izuku to rest earlier. But is it true that Izuku will be allowed to rest? Of course not. Izuku, who had just rested for 30 seconds, was immediately given the task of learning Magecraft. The break that should have been 30 minutes was cut to 30 seconds. But at least he could study about Magecraft for 30 minutes, which, compared to training, was more like a break. 30 minutes passed, and Izuku would return to his training with the gloves that Vinci made for Izuku's safety. Izuku went back to lifting the junk again. With difficulty, he lifted it. His young body was still not used to this. Luckily, there is robust health from Arash. This really helps Izuku with the task given by Leonitis, Sparta training, which is still not fully Sparta. You might be wondering where the junk that Izuku collected went. The junk went to the recycling center, and Achilles himself delivered it. Imagine him using his noble Phantasm just to deliver trash. Come on, young Izuku, your form is already good. Now you are making progress. Keep up the spirit, young Izuku. Rome was not built in one day, unless you have Romulus Quirinus as your servant, ha. The other servants could only smile, and Izuku, who heard Leonitis' words, was confused. Who was Leonitis referring to? Who is this Romulus Quirinus? What is his connection with building Rome in one day? Izuku shouted while carrying the washing machine. You don't know, huh? If you knew, you would be amazed. In general, Romulus Quirinus is a grand servant class lancer. Quirinus's main noble phantasm is per aspera ad astra, the concept of the expansion and development of civilization abstracted into a noble phantasm. So basically he can create Roma in one activation of his noble phantasm. Vinci answered what Izuku asked, and Izuku, who heard that, was stunned. There was someone who could do that. This increased Izuku's enthusiasm. He also doesn't want to lose to the heroes he has heard about. He also wants to become a legend. He also wants to be able to help people. He wants to see smiles when saving people, and he wants to be more than All Might. More than being little, he might have a dream when he grows up. Yuug, I will become a hero who brings smiles to everyone. I will become strong enough to make it happen, strong enough that no one can stop me. Izuku's words burned with passion, which made the servants smile. But there were two servants who smirked, Leonitis and Sasaki. They had already seen Izuku's potential, and they were ready to increase their training portion. Izuku kept trying to push his limits, even though this was only the first day of training, but Izuku was already used to this, as if he had been doing this for years. Maybe this happened because of the skills that Izuku has, robust health and natural-born genius. Time flies so fast, the sun is about to set. Izuku is called by Leonitis to finish his training today. 3 hours of training made Izuku successfully eliminate 2% of the trash in Takoba Beach. They went home because the training time was over, but one thing they didn't know was that Vinci was recording Izuku's training. Vinci knew that in this day and age, many heroes were trumpeting that they were great heroes through social media promotion. There are many heroes today who use social media as a window for others to get to know them better. Now heroes are mostly seen as idols rather than actual heroes. Even the heroes themselves think that being a hero is a job that earns a lot of money, whether it is from the salary given by the government or from selling merchandise. We are home. Excellent. Welcome home. I have prepared food for you. I hope you like it, said Inko with a smile. Inko mom, of course we will like it. Your cooking is the best here, number 2 compared to Amiya's cooking, Vinci said while giving a thumbs up. But mom, I want to take a shower first. My body is covered in sweat. Wait for me at the dining table, said Izuku as he ran towards the bathroom. Inko, who saw Izuku run, could only shake her head. Don't run, Izuku, you'll slip, Inko shouted. Izuku, who heard her, could only reply, sorry mom, I'll be careful. Sometimes I wonder whose trait Izuku got. I don't think my late husband had that trait. Inko was lost in thought looking at Izuku's behavior while smiling. Support me hehe, _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Comment. Chapter 6, The Strongest Mom in Making One. Inko mom, your food is really delicious. Next time teach me how to cook something this delicious, okay? Da Vinci said enthusiastically. Inko, who heard that, smiled. She felt like she had the daughter she had always dreamed of. Okay, starting tomorrow I will teach you how to cook like this, even though I can only cook home cooking. But by the way, Izuku, how is your training? Good, I can feel my progress. At most I still feel a little sore, but because of Arash's skill, I can ignore this soreness. Yes, ma. When will you join the training with us? I remember that you will also be training with me, right? Inko could only blush because before Izuku awakened his quirk, Inko firmly said that she would accompany Izuku in training. Ah, good idea. Don't worry, Inko mom, I will accompany you in training. After doing this exercise for 3 months, I guarantee your skin will be firmer, your hair will be silkier, and most importantly, your quirk will become stronger. Inko, who heard this, could only be amazed. If it's true that training will make Inko stronger, why not? Is there really such a training? I don't know if I can do it. You know I work from morning till evening so I don't have time, at most I can do it on the weekends. You're worried about that. Actually, there are some alternatives I thought of. Are you free at 8 p.m.? If you had that much free time, I could borrow a book from St. Martha and make you the strongest mother in the universe. That time I am free, but is it true that I can become strong? I don't want to hinder Izuku when he becomes a professional hero. Okay, we will start your training tomorrow, Inko mom. I hope you are ready. Inko, who heard that, could only nod while thinking whether she had made the wrong decision. Not long after they finished dinner, the servants then started to disappear one by one, and Izuku returned to his room. On his desk lay his hero notebook, a book that recorded all the hero quirks Izuku had ever met. My quirk is very unique. In general, I have the abilities of the hero that is in my body, but when Da Vinci used the ritual, I felt there was another hero there, which is obstructed by imaginary numbers of space and time. Can I access them once I know the mechanism? I don't know. I'm more curious about St. Martha, who Da Vinci mentioned earlier. She probably has abilities that are no less than the others. Izuku also wrote in his book about his experiences in his training earlier. His body felt a little sore, indicating that he was getting stronger. 30 minutes. After 30 minutes I'm going to sleep. I still don't know how to use reinforcement properly. Should I use reinforcement by releasing a lot of mana at high speed? I'll try it tomorrow. Now I'll try reinforcing this book. Izuku tries to train his reinforcement because he thinks that this skill will be useful in the future. And maybe because of the effect of his skill, Izuku easily strengthened his book. So that's how it is. I can use this easily now. The mechanism is filling the gaps in the molecules, but if I give it too much mana, then what will happen is destruction. All reinforced objects will explode if they exceed the maximum limit of mana. At least this gives Izuku the idea that he can make a bomb easily by simply reinforcing another object and giving a lot of mana to the object. I need to sleep now. I can't wait for tomorrow because every 2 days Sasaki-sensei will teach me how to fight using weapons. I can't wait to try Eternal Arms Mastery, Izuku said as he went to his bed to rest. Meanwhile, in Izuku's subconscious, it looks like 7 people are discussing the information obtained by Arash and Bedivere. They all have their respective tasks, Leonitis to train Izuku's body and Sasaki to train Izuku's weapon skills. And Achilles will teach Izuku hand-to-hand combat that suits his noble Phantasm Diatricon Asterlunk. So I've gathered some information. When Bedivere and I investigated the Quirk outbreak case, we found out that there was a mastermind behind all of this. Someone was controlling all of this. It seems that this is the task that Izuku will carry out, his destiny. Push. They nodded. This made sense because they all believed that the reason why they were here had something to do with the enemy Izuku was going to fight. Maybe Aleya in this world asked for help from Aleya in the other world? Moreover, is Aleya really here? No one knows for sure, but one thing is for sure, their powers are not restrained by Gaia, so the possibility of Aleya existing is also slim. Back to the topic, Arash and Bedivere explained that they received information from a bartender that said there is a new organization that is recruiting people. The organization is called the League of Villains. Interesting. Maybe I can sneak in there and secretly kill the leader, meh. Not a bad idea, Sasaki said while folding his arms with an indifferent expression. No, we can't interfere unilaterally, only when Izuku is in danger will we act. Moreover, we can use this League of Villains as a stepping stone for Izuku. Leonitis. I agree, so now let's get back to the topic, Inko. We have to make Inkomom stronger. I plan to give Inkomom the galvanism magic crest like Izuku, but I don't know if she can withstand the pain well. That's why I plan to train Inkomom with Jacob's limb. I will start the ritual asking Saint Martha to give me the Jacob's limb instruction book. Da Vinci. Diamond, were you serious about that? I thought you were just kidding. You know Jacob's limb is too broken for this world, but we can make Izuku learn together with his mother. Achilles. Well, I want to make Inkomom stronger, so strong that no one can hurt her, you know. I started to be fond of Inkomom. She's kind, too kind. Oh, and also, we also have to start helping to make money. I already have some quick money-making alternatives. I will write a novel. I don't know what you guys will do, but we have to help this family, our family. Da Vinci. I will be a fisherman. My mother is the goddess Thetis. I know the sea better than anyone else. Achilles. I will try to be a gym instructor, but what about our identity? We can't apply for a job if our identity is not here. Leonitis. Good question, actually. I've done it. I've hacked the government database and given us all our identities, so don't worry, we just need to report the loss of our ID cards. Da Vinci. Well, that's better, since Achilles became a fisherman and Leonitis became a gym instructor. I think I'll apply to be a bodyguard. Push. I will also apply to be a driver. I don't have many talents, so I can only use the talents I have. Bedivere. You know what, I and Lancelot won't be working. We'll focus on the safety of Izuku and his mother. Well, that could work. We've made our choice, so now we just work at our own pace. Well, I can't wait to train Izuku either, ha. Meanwhile, Izuku, who was already asleep, suddenly sneezed. Support me hehe, _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment. Chapter 7, Hero in Making 2. Izuku POV. If it hurts. Sasaki-sensei is not playing around with this training. I, who use the Eternal Arms mastery skill, can't keep up with him. How can I fight him when every time I clash swords with him, there are 2 other attacks at the same time? I know now why he can match Miyamoto Musashi, who has 2 swords, because indirectly Sasaki has 3 swords. What is that called? That's cheating. This guy can reverse attacks at will and attack at will. I don't even know if he used 2 swords. Would his attacks be 6? The technique is cheating, Tsubeim Geishi. The technique that Da Vinci said has transcended the concept of infinity. No wonder he was so strong when Da Vinci herself said so, and moreover, these servants are called according to their respective classes, and guess what? Sasaki is in his weakest class, the assassin class. How strong would he be if he were in the saber class? Maybe the grand servant that Leonitis spoke of is not something impossible to fight. Hey kiddo, I know you have the Eternal Arms mastery skill, but you don't understand what that skill means. It's a great skill, you know. With that skill, you can use anything as a weapon. Anything. Chopsticks? Rolling his eyes, Sasaki nodded. Yes, you can turn chopsticks or even a pencil into a deadly weapon, especially if you use reinforcement. I bet your enemies will have a hard time attacking you later. Huh, that's new. I just found out about it. You know, I only really used this skill today, so I just found out about it from you. Why didn't you tell me from the start so I could develop a strategy? Sasaki clicked his tongue. He was right. Izuku had only received his powers a few days ago, and he had never used 50% of the skills he had acquired. He had only used 3 skills so far. Robust health, natural-born genius, and pride of rearguard. Izuku uses these 3 skills like a passive skill. Although it is not wrong, without galvanism, he would not be able to use the 3 skills continuously. Huffed, Sasaki-sensei, what do you think of my condition now? Do you think I can move after this training? Izuku, who was exhausted, asked Sasaki, who then scoffed. Of course you can, you have the skills, Arash. Don't be a loser, your potential is far above the average servant in the throne of heroes. If you have 7 servant powers and are still a loser, you better just get rid of this quirk. Sasaki then walked away, leaving Izuku lying on the ground. Da Vinci, who felt sorry for Izuku, approached him. Are you okay, Izuku-chan? Sasaki may sound harsh, but there is truth in his words, Da Vinci said while smiling at Izuku. Yeah, I know. I'm a loser, right? That's the truth, Izuku said in a sad tone. Da Vinci, who heard this, shook her head. No, you're not a loser, you're Izuku Midoriya, a boy who will one day become a hero who will make history with his actions. What I mean is, Sasaki's words about you having great potential beyond many other servants. You're just entertaining me. Whereas there's someone like me who has potential. I can also be like this because of you guys. I can feel the hope to become a hero also thanks to you guys. I'm nobody. Just a child who has a dream beyond what he can bear on his own. Just a lazy kid who doesn't want to change and always stays quiet when bullied. I'm just a loser. Da Vinci was silent. With a smile, she crouched down and slapped Izuku's cheek gently. You're not a loser, you're a strong kid. Why do you think you awakened your powers? It all happened because of your strong will that connects you to the throne of heroes. If you say you're a loser, it's the same as saying that we who chose to be with you are also losers. Because people with opposing characters can't be united without understanding each other. Izuku covered his face with his hands and cried. He realized how stupid he was to think like that. Maybe the Izuku used to be a loser, but now he is trying to be a better version. A version where he can be a strong hero, a hero who can stand side by side with All Might, a hero who can be remembered and seen as a symbol of courage. He, Izuku, wants to be a hero like that. While sobbing, Izuku shouted, I want to be her. No, that's wrong. I will be a hero. Izuku got up from his position. He saw Sasaki getting further away, and with all his strength, he shouted, Sasaki Kojiro. We're not finished yet. Then Izuku took the stick beside him, reinforcing it to the point where it would explode, but when it was about to explode, Izuku used a structural grasp and looked at the blueprint and tried to change it, and Izuku was shocked because the stick had changed into a spear with a hardness equal to pure iron. Sasaki, who heard Izuku's scream, whispered, Finally, you awakened your hero nature. Never give up, huh? Without looking at Izuku, Sasaki moved at a speed that exceeded what the human eye could see. In the blink of an eye, Sasaki was already in front of Izuku. Izuku, with his mind's eye, had predicted Sasaki's movement. He quickly swung his spear, but Sasaki blocked it. Not giving up on his efforts, Izuku kicked a rock near his feet while giving the rock a lot of mana, creating a miniature bomb that exploded in front of Sasaki. Not bad, young man, said Sasaki with a smile, with a serious face. Izuku returned his focus to adding mana to his body so he could use reinforcement. Swords and spears clashed, even though they were both made of wood. An exhausted Izuku began to lose focus, causing Sasaki to increase the speed of his attacks. Izuku couldn't do anything to survive. He then remembered what he wrote in his book. With all the mana he had, he let it out like a jet from every part of his body. While doing that, Izuku could feel an incredible power that made his reflexes go crazy. He could even avoid all the attacks launched by Sasaki. What is this? I can feel everything moving at a slow speed. This never happens usually. Is this because I shot mana like a jet throughout my body? Izuku wondered if this was due to the V.2 reinforcement he had just experimented with. Da Vinci and the other servants watching from a distance were shocked because Izuku had just used Mana Burst, a great power considering he had just mstred reinforcement. The servants had gathered since Izuku doubted himself. They wanted to see the time when Izuku shined and found his resolution to become a hero. DMN, Izuku can use Mana Burst. I don't think anyone taught that kid about Mana Burst, but he can learn it himself. What a monster. With the potential like that and a natural-born genius skill, he becomes a beast in his own class. Izuku, with all his strength, launched a fast stabbing attack. Sasaki quickly blocked Izuku's attack, but Izuku bravely reinforced his spear until it exploded. Destroying his weapon and Sasaki, without waiting long, Izuku launched an attack using his hand, a powerful blow towards Sasaki. Heroic impact. Arg! Izuku shouted, using all the mana he had for this one attack that hit Sasaki hard, hitting him right in the chest, making Sasaki fall backwards, leaving Izuku standing there alone, unconscious. Ding, that was a really hard blow. I felt like I was hit by a truck. That's progress. With this, he will be freer and won't have many negative thoughts anymore. But you guys, all of you pieces, made me face him to wake Izuku up from his depression. Sasaki stood up while brushing off the dust on his clothes. The other servants could only smile and blush. Well, excuse us, you know that there are only 2 people who are suitable for this task, you and Achilles is too strong for Izuku now, he won't even flinch. Even if Izuku released 100% of his power earlier, Achilles would not be able to be defeated, and that would only make Izuku even more depressed. On the other hand, you are Sasaki Kojiro. Even though you are strong, you are only human during your life, just like Izuku, so he still thinks that he can beat at least someone who is still human even though he is a servant. I hate you because your explanation makes sense. Now what should we do? Izuku lost consciousness, and if Inko saw him now, I'm sure she would speed up her training process. Good idea. After she finishes her Jacob's limb training, I'm sure Inko will gently massage you using her Jacob's limb. Stop. That's a bad idea. Forget what I said. You know what, screw it. I'll take him myself, at least I can explain it in person. Sasaki then took Izuku quickly. Wish me luck, guys, said Sasaki before leaving all the servants there while carrying Izuku. I use Grammarly, and I don't know if this is good. Support me _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment. Chapter 8. The Strongest Mom in Making 2. Inko POV. I feel something bad is happening, Izuku. Are you okay there? I paced back and forth in panic, trying to calm the emotions that had come from nowhere. Ding dong. That must be Izuku and the other servants. Why do they call themselves servants? For some reason it makes my relationship with them a little awkward. Welcome home, Izuku. Izuku, what happened to my baby? You answer me. I'm sorry, Mrs. Inko. This happened because we wanted to build Izuku's mentality and also eliminate his negative thoughts. His depression was too severe. We could only do this so that he would come out of his shell. After this, I will guarantee that Izuku will have an easier time in his training because he is free from the burden on his mind. I was silent. I also felt guilty because Izuku was depressed. This makes me feel even more guilty. If only I told Izuku that you could be a hero even though you don't have a quirk. If only I could turn back time. With guilt, I hugged Izuku, who was unconscious. I saw Izuku's smiling face. This makes me burst into tears. Forgive your mother, Izuku. I have to be a role model for Izuku. I will become strong, stronger than anyone else. I will protect Izuku until he can overcome his problems by himself. With shaky steps I carried Izuku to his room, every step filled with guilt. When I turned around, I saw the servant standing there. Vinci then gave me a phone and told me to play a video on the phone. I saw Izuku fighting against Sasaki. All his attacks are creative. With his cleverness, he tricks Sasaki and manages to launch a devastating blow at Sasaki. And he smiled. With teary eyes, I looked back at them, and I clenched my fists and said to them, "Thank you, and please help me become stronger." I saw Vinci smile. She then gave a thumbs up. Of course, Inko Mom, isn't that our goal from the start, to become the strongest mother? With a strong determination, I will become stronger, stronger than anyone. I will destroy all obstacles to help Izuku become the hero he wants to be. Third POV. 7 days passed. Since Izuku gained confidence, his development has skyrocketed compared to before. Inko, who saw all this, smiled. Inko was happy to see her son grow into what he always dreamed of, a hero. Although not yet, he was in the process. Inko also did not forget to practice. She diligently practiced with Vinci, and she studied Jacob's limb, a martial art passed down from Jacob whose strength is said to be able to rival that of an angel. During that time, Vinci also made a confession that she actually created the magic crest by implementing mystic code into Izuku's heart. Hearing Da Vinci's explanation, Inko was extremely shocked, because if that was what happened, it meant that Da Vinci lied about making Izuku a magic crest and then made him a mystic code. This made Inko confused. She wanted to be angry, but it happened a long time ago, so Inko could only vent it all by training with Da Vinci. Stop for now, we're ending today's training. Hey Inko mom, do you want to have a magic crest like Izuku-chan? If you want, I can make it for you, although it will take some time. At least when you finish this training, the magic crest will be ready. Inko, who heard that, became hesitant. She couldn't choose properly now. She didn't know what to choose, but then Izuku started to appear in her head. Clenching her fists, Inko said with determination, "Yes, I want the magic crest." With that choice, Inko is on her way to becoming a great, strong, and invincible mother. Da Vinci smiled when he heard it. She nodded her head. After that, she got the answer from Da Vinci, and Inko cleaned herself up by taking a bath. Da Vinci, who was alone in the living room, made the decision to create a homunculus body that she would later possess. With Inko's DNA, Da Vinci would create a homunculus body that could store the magic crest that she will make later. This will make the magic crest very compatible with Inko, making this magic crest more effective. What skill did I give to Inko mom? Galvanism for sure. Maybe I'll add a natural body too, and I will try to ask for Aegis from Odysseus. And we will get Inko mom the strongest mom. Meanwhile, in another place. A dark place with many life support devices. A person is seen with a face so destroyed that it has no eyes and nose. Dr. Garaki, is there a new quirk that would make me interested in taking it? Said the faceless person. The doctor who was nearby answered, so far there hasn't been one, but there is one person who awakened an interesting quirk. He awakened this quirk at the age of just 3 weeks ago. What do you think his quirk is? Give me the details about that kid's quirk. If it's good, I'll try to take it, said the faceless man. The details are unknown, but it says here, Izuku Midoriya. With the quirk name Heroic Spirit? I don't know what that means. Maybe his quirk will activate when he subconsciously marks what he does as a heroic act that will increase his power? Whether it can be stacked or not, I don't know. Do you want that quirk, my lord? The faceless man was silent. In theory, this quirk was very good. If he could control this quirk and mark all his actions as heroic, then his strength would continue to grow. But then again, that was just Dr. Garaki's assumption from what he read, so faceless man didn't want to take the risk of adding a useless quirk to his body. After all, the singularity quirk was real, and he had already felt it. The new generation quirk was much stronger than the old one. Support me _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Chapter 9. Hero in Making 3. Izuku POV. Day of my life. It seems like not much has changed, but 2 months have passed quickly. I have been doing this hellish training for 2 months. Oi, Deku! Get out of my way! Bakugo shouted at me. I just ignored him and walked towards the classroom. Bakugo, who didn't get what he wanted, became angry. He walked towards me in annoyance and tried to grab my shoulder. Reflexively, I pulled Bakugo's hand and slammed it on the floor. I looked at him with a disappointed look and continued my steps to class. Beach, what the F with your eyes? I'm not done with you, Bakugo shouted again while patting the dust off his clothes. Save that for later, Bakugo. I don't want to deal with you right now. I'm not my old self, so don't bother me with your childish behavior. I saw Bakugo angry with what I said. Besides, he has never changed since before. His nature of always considering himself superior makes me lazy to respond to him. It looks like I'm going to be attacked any minute now. Die! You bastard! Bakugo shouted. Yup, what I said is true, he will attack me. No wonder with his ego like that he can't control his emotions. Maybe his quirk affects him. Meh, I don't care. I quickly avoided Bakugo's attack, compared to Sasaki's attack, which had high speed. As for Bakugo's attacks, well, let's just say that his power isn't bad, only his execution is rubbish. I saw a shocked expression on Bakugo's face. He probably didn't expect me to be able to dodge his attack. Since for the past 2 months I've been avoiding Bakugo and the gang, it's only natural. If Bakugo is surprised. Without giving any time to pause, I knocked Bakugo down again, this time by making Bakugo's legs unbalanced, or in other words, I attacked his legs, which made him fall. I didn't pay attention to Bakugo after that. My goal was more important than revenge for his bullying actions towards me. Oh, I wish school would be over quickly and I could go straight home. Third POV. Midoriya Izuku, you successfully completed this Sparta training with a good grade of A+ from me. As a reward, I will give you all my skills and noble phantasms. The thing Izuku had been waiting for finally happened. He had finished his Sparta training by cleaning Dagoba Beach. Now there was not a single piece of trash here. Thus, Izuku has additional skills: Warrior War Cry, Magic Resistance, Defiance of 300, and Noble Phantasm, Thermopylae and Omosha. Izuku, who can use Leonitis power, now understands one thing. The Noble Phantasm is an accumulation of the legends circulating about the hero. So Izuku wouldn't be surprised if Achilles suddenly had 5 Noble Phantasms. Hey kiddo, do you want to try what it feels like to release a Noble Phantasm? I will help you. Achilles walked away from Izuku. After he felt he was far enough, Achilles turned his body to face Izuku. Izuku, who saw Achilles preparing to attack him, smiled because he wanted to feel what it was like to release a Noble Phantasm. Here goes nothing. Molenleib. Izuku shouted as he materialized Leonitis' spear and shield. At that moment, many Spartan troops materialized their bodies. They ran into a formation that was famous for being able to hold off enemy troops with only 300 troops. My friends, bring your souls hither. Thermopylae and Omosha. At that moment, sparks appeared, and the Spartans disappeared one by one, leaving only their shields. This is the first time Izuku has felt this way. Releasing the Noble Phantasm is not an ordinary thing, because when Izuku released this Noble Phantasm, he felt like he was in a time when the legend about this Noble Phantasm was created. A sense of disappointment towards the god who gave the oracle, a sense of despair because of the countless enemies, and pride, the pride that made him unable to retreat because it was the destiny he chose. The essence of the Thermopylae battle, the blood, the sweat, the cry, the despair. Izuku felt all these feelings become one with one determination to maintain this defense. Achilles, who was ready to use his Noble Phantasm, chuckled. He could feel Izuku still amazed by the Noble Phantasm. Hey kiddo, I'm serious, don't take your eyes off me. Dromius Comets. Quickly Achilles disappeared from Izuku's sight. Izuku, who tried to find Achilles' whereabouts, only found several shields on his Noble Phantasm destroyed, followed by the sound of an explosion and strong wind. Wow, that shield is quite strong, huh? But its true strength lies in its ability to counter attacks. Want to try it? Izuku, who heard it, nodded. He also wanted to know how strong this Noble Phantasm was. Achilles, who heard it, became even worse. He attacked Izuku from various angles and only found several shields destroyed. Izuku was even more confused because he couldn't see Achilles. Hey, Izuku, try putting some mana into your eyes. That way, you can at least see a glimpse of Achilles. Izuku then followed the advice. He put mana into his eyes and sure enough, Izuku could see Achilles' movements, even though all he could see was his afterimage. Izuku's shields quickly shattered one by one, leaving only one shield left. Izuku quickly activated his Eyes of Mind and quickly activated his counterattack. With the prediction from the Eye of Mind, Izuku could feel where Achilles would be next. With all his strength, he threw Leonitis' spear. Achilles was thrown far into the sea, although he did not appear to be injured, but from the distance Achilles was thrown, it could be concluded that this counterattack was very powerful. That attack was strong too. If it wasn't for the attack lacking divinity, I would have definitely been injured. Izuku, who heard it, could only be stunned. Such a strong counterattack with such crazy defense, this Noble Phantasm is strong. I can't wait for the other Noble Phantasms. Izuku said with a big smile. Support me _underwishwinks, ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Chapter 10, Servant with Their Job 1. Da Vinci POV. Da Vinci, Sensei, when do you think you will release the Volume 4 of the Chaldea? And where will Ritsuka's adventure go to next? That is a secret. I answered and then left my editor's office. During these 2 months I managed to make my own name. I made a novel that tells about the journey of Ritsuka Fujimura, yes. The last MSTR and the strongest MSTR that humanity has. In a short time, my novel was loved by many people. Because the theme is still around heroes, and I took the approach of what would happen if past heroes could come back to life. This makes many people like the novel because they also want to have the same thing as Ritsuka. Command the heroes and save the world, but they don't know the true struggle of Ritsuka. Currently, within 2 months I have managed to write 3 volumes, which have a lot of details about how Chaldea uses magic, although I don't include the ritual diagrams, but with the aria alone it already gives a goosebumps effect for sure. With my genius talent I can make it easily. Fufu, praise me. I have written 3 singularities in the 3 volumes, including Fuyuki, Orleans, and Septim. Considering this world doesn't have anything similar to the Holy Grail War, so I had to explain it in detail at the beginning of Volume 1. It's tiring to explain something that other people don't know, especially your own editor who doesn't understand at all. Let's put that aside. Besides writing novels, I also made a special channel for Izuku. I uploaded his journey cleaning to Koba Beach. Of course, with a few motivational words given. Besides, what I uploaded was just Izuku training by picking up trash. I know there are many villains lurking around, so I never uploaded what Izuku can do with all his skills, like when he fought Sasaki. So I just uploaded a video of Izuku's transformation from a crybaby to a Sigma boy. At least that's what kids on the internet said when they saw Izuku's transformation into a more handsome man. Just wait until he has my golden rule skill. It's certain that he will be my best masterpiece of all time. Finally I got home. It seems like I have to buy a house for my Inko mom. My novel income is already above 3 digits. With the development of technology, many novels that are considered interesting are immediately adapted into anime, even to the point of being remade into a live action. And Chaldea is on that list. So far the production house has only contracted 2 volumes of my novel to be made into anime. That's because I draw my novel characters every time a new character is introduced. So Volume 1 is the volume with the most characters I've drawn. It was so tiring, but it all paid off. Now we just have to choose a place and boom, we'll have a big house, bigger than this apartment. Era.Inko mom, what's happening in the kitchen? I said when I saw the messy condition of the kitchen. Inko mom was surprised to hear my question. She just smiled shyly, with her hands on her head. Actually, I don't really understand what happened, but when I tried to use the Jacob's limb, suddenly, whoosh and boom, and the rest is like this, messy. Hearing her words, I was shocked. Was Inko mom already at the stage where she could combine her quirk with Jacob's limb? Let me ask her. Inko mom, when you want to use Jacob's limb, do you use your quirk as an additional? I asked curiously. Inko mom, who heard that, nodded. Yes. I originally wanted to multitask using my quirk. I could train and clean the kitchen at the same time, but suddenly there was destruction where my punch landed. Wow, Inko mom, you are a genius. Even before I taught you how to use Jacob's limb with your quirk, you already did it. Indeed, the fruit does not fall far from the tree. Izuku and you are too special. I saw Inko mom happy because of the compliment. Maybe I should speed up the process of making the magic crest. I don't want to disappoint Inko mom. Nay. Inko mom, there's actually something we want to tell you. Can we talk about it later at the dinner table? Is it that important? I'll listen to you, but now we have to clean up first. This kitchen is too messy for me to cook. Please help me, Vinci-chan. I looked at Inko mom with a smile. What else can I do? I am already attached to Inko mom's motherly nature. Well, what can I do? This kitchen is too messy to clean, so I, the invincible genius Da Vinci, will help you. We cleaned the kitchen quickly. How could we not? Da Vinci is here ready to make the job easier, so now all that's left is to cook the food. And this time, Inko mom told me to go to the living room. I wasn't allowed to help. Maybe Inko mom didn't want me to get tired? But I'm a servant. I can't get tired just because this matter. 30 minutes passed, and I was watching television when I heard Inko mom's voice calling me. I immediately approached him and asked what was wrong. Da Vinci-chan, could you please call the others to the dining room? The food is ready. Oh, and get Izuku to help bring this food to the table. Nodding, I walked to Izuku's room, knocked on it and told him about what Inko said. After that I contacted the other servants and said that the food was ready. After waiting for a while, 2 servants appeared. They were Achilles and Sasaki. Meanwhile I got news that Arash and Bedivere were still working. Leonitis was also busy at the gym. As for Lancelot, well, he wasn't hungry. We eat with gusto. The food made by Inko is very delicious. It reminds me of St. Martha's cooking. I will ask St. Martha to pass on her skills to Inko later. Time passed and we had finished eating. With a serious look I looked at Inko and the others. So, the reason I'm speaking now is that we need to have a new and bigger place. I already have several options, so Inko can choose where we want to settle. Inko, who heard this, could only be stunned, because I wanted to buy a house in this area. Well, what else could I do? This place is too narrow to make my temple, my Magus workshop. I saw that Inko was uncomfortable with the idea of buying a house using my money, and when she wanted to refuse, I giving her my ultimate mystic eyes, the puppy eyes. This must be done, please. Inko, you know my class is caster, and I haven't used 100% of my power yet, but if I had a fairly large space, I guarantee that I could make a tool that could help Izuku. I beg you please. With no hope of changing my mind, Inko finally agreed. That way I can start my plan to build my body. With this I can be an Inko child. Did I see Izuku shudder? Maybe I just saw it wrong. Whatever, I'll finally be able to experiment freely. Support me under ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment. Chapter 11. 11. The strongest mom in making 3. Inko POV. 7 days passed and finally we were ready to move to a new house. Da Vinci and I go there first, while Izuku and the others were packing the things in the apartment to move to the new house. This house is so big, are we really going to live here? I'm not dreaming, right? I thought when she said bigger house, she just bought one with a yard. But this is not a house, this is a mansion with a backyard that directly faces the mountain. Cross that out because I just found out that Da Vinci-chan also rented that mountain. Agasaima, the name of the mountain. I can't believe they can buy it in cash without installments. I have to ask them where the money comes from. Come on Inko, come this way, I'll give you a surprise, Before that let's arrange the clothes in the wardrobe. Don't worry, Inko, this house has everything. Everything? Wow, that's so unbelievable. By the way, who is that basement for? I asked Da Vinci-chan, because for some reason the basement gave off a unique aura that it's like if I go there I can see the room of someone who is obsessed with research. That has become my workshop. The place where I do all my research and the place where I make all the tools to help Izuku later. Oh, okay, I nodded my head after hearing Da Vinci-chan's answer. We then continued our steps to get to know more about the place that would later become our new home. After 1 hour, Da Vinci-chan and I had explored all the places in this house. There was a large training area. After investigating, it turned out that Da Vinci-chan had added a boundary field. So most people won't know that there is a building for us to practice there. I'm amazed by everything Da Vinci-chan and the other servants do. This is impossible to do. Building a building is still possible, but making the building disappear from human senses and technology is almost impossible. As I admired what would be our new home, I noticed that Da Vinci-chan had been smiling the whole time. Was there something wrong with my face? Inko, have you ever dreamed of being a heroine? Somehow I feel like you have a strong longing to become a heroine. For a moment I was surprised to hear Da Vinci-chan's question. Actually, I also wanted to be a heroine when I was little. But because my quirk is nothing compared to the flashier quirks. Yes, actually, I used to think about becoming a heroine when I was little. But what else can I do? I didn't pass the selection to enter the hero school. Nodding her head, Da Vinci-chan smiled and asked me again. Then you must have your favorite heroine, right? Who is she? Who made you want to be a heroine? Da Vinci-chan asked with her uncontrollable enthusiasm. I shyly answered Da Vinci-chan's question. Actually, there are several people who inspired me to become a heroine, but the most memorable one is the heroine Nana. She is just like All Might, always saving people with a smile on her face. But she suddenly disappeared while fighting against an unknown enemy. The last thing the world knew was that Nana died along with the villain she was fighting because her enemy committed suicide using his quirk, leaving a crater from a massive explosion. This makes me sad, remembering that my heroine, the heroine who inspired me, just disappeared. It hit me hard. Made me close myself off from the world of heroes and avoid anything related to heroes. But all that changed when All Might came and Izuku idolized the hero figure again, with a smile that was similar to mine. I could almost see Nana's reflection in All Might's smile. But the memory of losing the hero figure returned when Izuku failed to awaken his quirk. That I don't want Izuku to get hurt, so I can only say sorry without saying that Izuku can be a hero even without a quirk. Inko-mom, are you alright? I've been calling you for a while, but you're still in a daze without giving any reaction. Yeah, I'm fine, just remembering the appealing memories of my childhood when I was still chasing heroes like what Izuku is doing now. I answered with a soft smile. Oh, I see, then I will also support Inko-mom to become the #1 heroine. After I make a magic crest for Inko-mom, it is certain that no villain can touch Inko-mom. I'm too old for something like that, and I don't have the courage to fight those villains either. Even if I wanted to be a heroine, I wouldn't want to risk putting Izuku in danger. Ah, that's a shame, but I accept it. Actually, there is something I have kept secret from you, Inko-mom. Would you like to follow me into the basement for a moment? I looked at Da Vinci-chan in confusion. What was it that she kept it a secret from me? Maybe something related to Izuku. Somehow I feel a bit uneasy. The two of us walked towards the basement. With steady steps we arrived at the basement, the workshop that Da Vinci-chan mentioned. This is what I want to show you, Da Vinci-chan said gloomily. I looked at what was in this basement in surprise, because there were so many human bodies in the tubes. If you count them, there are about 30 people in the tube. I'm starting to understand why Da Vinci-chan is gloomy. Maybe she thinks that I will hate her when I find out she's doing experiments like this, but I'll ask her so there's no misunderstanding. Da Vinci-chan, can you explain what's going on here? You're not doing anything illegal, are you? I asked Da Vinci-chan. Somehow I feel like I already think of her as my own daughter, the daughter I've always wanted. Taking a deep breath, Da Vinci-chan finally explained what was going on. Actually, they were all made by me. They are homunculi. They lack the soul to operate like humans, so you could say that they are just robots made from alchemy. With a bit of skepticism I looked at Da Vinci-chan, but then my eyes fell on a homunculus with greenish-black hair and a small body. Da Vinci-chan, then who is this? Why does this girl's hair look like mine? You didn't use my DNA when you made this, did you? I said seriously. With a face full of guilt, Da Vinci-chan was finally honest. She confessed her feelings. She then said, actually, that's the body I prepared for myself. You know, I already think of you as my mother. You are my new mother figure in this world. When I was summoned into Izuku's body, I also saw all of Izuku's memories where he doing all the appealing things with you, made me jealous, so I wanted to at least have a blood relationship with you. Sorry if this makes you uncomfortable, I'm sorry. I don't know what came over me. I couldn't bear to see Da Vinci-chan sad, so instinctively I hugged her and said, it's okay, didn't you call me Inko-mom? Even without blood relations, I already consider you as my own child. Hearing my words, Da Vinci-chan hugged me even tighter. With a smile I patted her shoulder, easing the burden on her mind. Don't you have a surprise for your Inko-mom? But I haven't seen it at all. If you say the surprise is that you became my daughter, I'm not surprised, I said to Da Vinci-chan while laughing, lightening the mood. As if receiving a resurrection potion, Da Vinci-chan returned to her previous state. She showed off many of her creations, and the most important thing was, she said that making a magic crest is complicated and complex, because it requires a suitable host and the transplantation is extremely painful. No wonder she lied and said that the magic crest was easy to make but the mystic code was difficult. It turned out to be the other way around. Oh, so that's how it is, Da Vinci-chan. We're not done like this yet. Let's practice Jacob's limb again. Hearing my words, Da Vinci-chan took a deep breath. With a trembling voice, Da Vinci-chan said, can we reschedule the practice time? With a sweet smile I said, no, there is no reschedule for now. After that I dragged Da Vinci-chan out of the basement, towards the training ground, with Da Vinci-chan's plea for help echoing throughout the building. Support me, hee hee. Under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Comment. Chapter 12, Servant with Their Job, 2. Diamond Bro, 100 Collections? I can't believe 100 people put this trash fanfic in their library. As a form of my appreciation for them, this is today's bonus chapter. Enjoy this garbage moi. Achilles POV. Welcome to my channel, guys. How are you guys? I hope you are all well. As I promised yesterday, we will go to the sea to look for swordfish. Achilles, became a streamer. Yes, all this happened because I uploaded a video on how to determine good fishing spots and good types of bait for different types of fish. And actually the reason why they like watching videos and want me to do live streaming is definitely because of my handsome face. What can I say? My face already has a handsome certificate from a goddess. What? You don't believe it, bro? My mother is a goddess, so I'm telling the truth. Randoners, hey old man, when will we reach our destination? I can't wait to see you thrown away by the fish, and it will be revealed that you are not strong, and everything you said was just empty talk. Skilled master, sometimes I wonder why I'm here, watching a man fishing. Goldie man great. Can we skip our journey and just teleport to that spot? I'll be going to class in a minute. I could be there in a matter of seconds, but I would go to jail for that. You know we can't use our quirks carelessly. At least that's what the law says. I just smiled reading the comments of my viewers. In the live chat, even though I'm also tired of waiting, what can I do? I have to follow the rules now, otherwise, things will be long and complicated later if I have to deal with the police. I have been exploring these Japanese waters for 2 months and just know the ins and outs of where the schools of fish are located. During these 2 months, my subscriptions have skyrocketed to 300,000 subscribers. At first I started this channel because I was inspired by what Vinci did. She uploaded a video of Izuku, and I tried to do it too. At first many people didn't believe what I was doing. I mean, who would believe that someone could go fishing and catch a 5-meter manta ray? It's like something out of a fairy tale. Especially since I can lift the manta ray easily. Many people said that my videos were edited, staged, and many more, so to minimize misunderstandings, I decided to do a live stream. It's been a month since I started my live streaming, and yeah, it's been quite fun. Lots of clowns entertain me in the live chat. And there are also some female viewers who admire my handsomeness. Well, that's possible, because I am Achilles, the son of the goddess Thetis and the hero Peleus. Who wouldn't want me? No HMO. Get ready, friends, we are about to enter the big fish area. I really love the gentle sea breeze. I almost forgot to give an offering to my mother. So I set up an altar to offer the fish I catch to my mother, the goddess Thetis. This is something I've been doing since the beginning, since I made the video and uploaded it to HeroTube. With the channel name The Real Achilles, I quickly gained a lot of followers. They thought I was role-playing using the character Achilles, but they didn't know that I was actually the real Achilles. Well, talking to an ignorant person is better than talking to someone who pretends to know everything. Because when I play their game, they can only say that Achilles is not accurate with the lore in the legend. Oh my dear mother, your son has come back to visit you. I know it may not be much, but I hope you will accept this offering. I said to my mother, for some reason I can feel that the gods in this world have entered a long hibernation, maybe because Gaia has also entered hibernation. But I can still contact my mother. Is she the same as the one in my world? My mother is still my mother no matter what world she's in, and vice versa. Funking_hitter. Guys, he did it again, bro really thinks he's Achilles ha. Tombaku, wait, really dude? I thought that just some gimmick but DMN that fish just disappear right there. Drag_ball, what you know that's just some filter, there is no way the gods really exist. I bet $100 there is no god. BNDW Agon, get some help, guys. Please, you need Jesus. Midden_over, so what are you going to do now, Achilles wannabe? I hope you get bigger fish than before. Rabbit_stone, I heard you're strong, want to fight now? I saw a chat from one of my viewers in live chat. Am I strong? I am strong, so strong that no one can penetrate my land. Maybe All Might can make me feel a little pain. Well, no one can use divinity here. I don't even know if they have divinity here, but as long as no one understands that power, they can't scratch me. Me? Yeah. I'm strong as Achilles. How can I lose to the NPCs? If you want to fight, wait until I sell my catch, Yash. That's the 10th fish I caught. Oh, for those who want to fight me, I'll wait for you at Takoba Beach. With that I ended my live stream. I didn't take Rabbit_Moon's challenge seriously, so I went to Toyosu Market to sell this fish. Luckily, Da Vinci made me a big refrigerator with an unreasonable capacity, so the price of my fish didn't decrease because it was damaged. Finally I'm done with today's work. I wonder what Inko will cook today. Why don't I bring Inko some fish to cook? It would be delicious if she cooked it. Note to self to bring fish and shellfish. With satisfactory results, I returned to the ship and headed home. Using my usual route, I finally stopped at the edge of Takoba Beach. There I saw someone fighting. It was Leonitis who was fighting, but who was he fighting with? Hey, you're strong, making me even more excited. I will put all my strength into this attack. Luna Arc. I quickly saw Leonitis materialize his shield, and then a huge shockwave was created from the collision of the two people. The result was that Leonitis remained standing firm without wavering at all, even though his body was covered in bruises. He was still standing as if nothing had happened. In contrast to the woman, she fainted with many bruises on her hands and feet. Wow, that was a great attack, by the way, Leonitis. Who is that woman? I don't know, but what's certain is that she's looking for you, Diamant. Why did it have to be me, even though I just finished work? My body is so sore. I hope this doesn't happen again. I can't promise, I laughed out loud while putting my arm around Leonitis' shoulders, and we headed home. When we arrived home, there was something on my mind. It seemed like I forgot something. But what? I don't know either. If I forgot, that means it's not important. Support me under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Chapter 13. Servant with their job, 3. Leonitis IPOV. This is quite a tiring job. For some reason, the gym where I work has become busier in the past month. I don't know the reason, but my workload is increasing because I'm training more and more people. Even though my salary keeps increasing, with this busyness I feel like quitting this job and starting a channel like Achilles, which focuses on fitness and building muscle mass. But I also don't want to part with this job. For the past 2 months, I have considered them as my Spartan troops. I train them hard. It is very difficult. Even every session is focused on training the body to the limit. Maybe they are muscle maniacs, but for me they are people who are ready to fight for the people they love, so every time I train, I always tell them to imagine. To imagine that their family is in danger, and they have to lift the heavy weight to save their loved ones. And it worked well. Many people were able to surpass their limits. Whether they had a mutant quirk or not, everyone could do it with a little effort and resilience. I walked along the beach, the place where I trained young Midoriya. It felt like just yesterday I was teaching him how to lift weights properly. But now he has developed beyond what we thought. Now he is like a young eagle ready to hunt. This view is really appealing. Sometimes I feel that seeing this view is something very expensive, but here I can see it almost every day, a appealing evening view. I continued my steps, following the coastline while occasionally stopping to see if there was any scattered rubbish. I turned towards the sound of the explosion. There I saw a woman with rabbit ears and a leotard. Wow, I admit she's a 10 on the baddie scale. I approached the woman to ask if there was anything I could help with. Hey miss, is there anything I can help you with? I asked the woman. The woman who heard my words looked back at me with a suspicious look. Who are you, and what is your relationship to that BSRD Achilles? Is Achilles causing trouble again? Whether I should admit it or not, I don't know either. No. I don't know who Achilles is. If you allow me, I'll go home first. I said as I got up to leave the place that would become the battlefield. Just a few steps and the woman called me. I, who didn't want to deal with her for long, just kept quiet and kept walking. Hey, I called you. Don't tell me you're that BSRD Achilles friend. Okay, I'll use you as a warm-up. She said. Me as a warm-up? It seems I have to show why I was chosen to be the king of Sparta. With incredible speed, the woman shot towards me, with my vast experience, I was able to predict this woman's attack. I wanted to know how strong this woman was, so out of curiosity I exchanged blows with her, and I could feel that her strength could be said to be at C+. Not bad for her. I saw the girl smirk, and I didn't like where this was going. And sure enough, what I thought happened, she quickly swept my leg, making me lose balance for a moment, but she took advantage of that and used her attack. Luna Fall. As her attack was about to connect with my body, I tilted my body to the side and managed to avoid her attack. Wow, that was quite dangerous. By the way, what's your name? My name is Leonitis. I'm going to get serious now. Mirko, the rabbit hero Mirko, I can't wait to fight you, old man. By the way, why did you use the name Leonitis? Are you a fan of the old movies about the King of Sparta? Back again with that old man's call. I'm still young in this body, at least I look young. Back again with an old movie, whatever you say, my name is Leonitis. I said as I stood up and looked at Mirko with a ferocious grin. We quickly exchanged punches and kicks, all attacks were countered perfectly, but there was one thing Mirko didn't have. The durability of a servant was crazier than ordinary humans, even if they had mutant quirks. Luna Ring. It was a new attack, which Mirko launched at me. She quickly turned her leg and kicked towards my head, but reflexively I put my hands in a defensive position covering the gap in my head and instantly stopped Mirko's attack. I saw Mirko, who failed to launch her attack, counter again by pinching my head between her thighs. Take this, you old man. Luna T. Harris. I thought I'm going to die. Nope, it turns out I'm still alive. That was a scary attack. If I didn't have endurance A, it was certain that my head would be cut off from my body earlier. I don't know what she fought against to have such a brutal fighting technique. From her clothes, it was clear that she was a hero, but this was the first time I had seen a hero with such a brutal fighting style. That one almost cut off my head earlier. Are you sure you are a hero with your brutal fighting style? As if she didn't hear my words, Mirko attacked me again. This time she ran with a burst of speed that made me a little surprised because her speed was at B-. Don't underestimate me, you old man. Luna Rush. She quickly kicked me with several powerful kicks. This made me go into defense mode. I haven't felt this feeling for a long time. The adrenaline rush made me grin unconsciously. Mirko, who was focused on kicking, didn't realize that her stamina was decreasing. Meanwhile, I quickly grabbed her leg and threw Mirko away from me. Without giving her the slightest chance to recover, I attacked her. With my speed being below hers, I can't hope to really land a clean shot. So with that thought in mind, I chose to attack her arms and legs, at least that's what I think now. Her hands and feet began to show signs of bruising. My attacks managed to make it difficult for her to move, with the many bruises on her hands and feet. I could only be amazed that she was still able to stand and fight. Hey, you're strong, making me even more excited. I will put all my strength into this attack. Luna Arc. The minute her attack was strong, I quickly materialized my shield, intending to block her attack. With all my strength I held back her attack, but somehow I could feel that she was happy now. Is she a MSCST? I don't think so, but why is she smiling now? With all my strength, I threw Mirko using my shield, making her fly away and faint. It was the most intense fight I've ever had in this world. I can feel that BSRD Achilles. He's the one who caused the trouble. I'm the one who has to clean it up. Luckily he had his mother's blessing, which made him not feel the attacks that didn't have divinity. If not, I would have suplexed him by now. Wow, that was a great attack by the way, Leonitis. Who is that woman? I don't know, but what's certain is that she's looking for you, damn it. Why did it have to be me? I just finished work. My body is so sore. I hope this doesn't happen again. I can't promise, He laughed out loud while putting his arm around my shoulders, and we headed home. Just AF Kinde. Let's hope this doesn't happen again. That's what I thought, but the next week, there she was on the beach again. Should I look for a new place to relax? Support me under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment 3 Comet. Chapter 14. Hero in Making 4. You know what, this place is crazy. Who gave the idea to Da Vinci to make this training ground into a torture chamber? I can't help but wonder who suggested it to Da Vinci and thought it was a good idea. Come on, kiddo, you know a hero won't give up easily. Show me what you can do, because this time I will teach you my sword technique. Wait, seriously? You will teach me your techniques? Somehow I don't think this will end well for me. Izuku said as he walked over to get his training spear. For 2 months he had become accustomed to the spear, allowing Izuku to use the spear like an extension of his hand. But still he lost when compared to Sasaki, who has more experience in his field. Izuku and Sasaki continue their training, while elsewhere Inko and Da Vinci are also doing Jacob's limb training. 3 hours passed, and Izuku's training finally ended. When Izuku wanted to clean himself by taking a bath, he met Arash and Bedivere, who were on vacation. It turns out that their jobs are in one place. They work for the Yairzu family. Bedivere works as a driver for the daughter of the Yairzu family. And Arash works as a bodyguard for the daughter of the Yairzu family. So they both working together. Arash and Bedivere, what's wrong? Izuku asked the two of them. How do I say this? You know we work for the Yairzu family, right? So we don't have much time in this place, at most when we are on vacation from our work. But that will rarely happen, so Bedivere and I will immediately pass on our powers to you, but remember, never try my noble phantasm. Arash said with a guilty face. He also felt bad when he talked about his noble phantasm. But can you explain it? Izuku asked curiously why Arash wouldn't let him try out his noble phantasm. How should I explain it? My noble phantasm isn't the flashy type. Compared to the others, my noble phantasm can only be used once, and my life is at stake when using it. You know the legend about me where I shoot arrows that end wars and resolve the conflicts? Well, I don't want you to disappear after using it. Izuku was silent. He knew the legend surrounding Arash. He also knew that Arash was someone who was willing to sacrifice himself in order to save many people. Well, my noble phantasm is bad. I couldn't help you either, you know. I feel guilty about it. If only you had summoned another archer servant who was more useful than me. Izuku looked at Arash, shook his head, and smiled and said to Arash, Your power is cool, Arash. You can create unlimited bows and arrows. Your robust health makes my hell training easier, and I also admire your noble phantasm, the power to resolve conflicts. It is a great power. But compared to all that, I admire your character more. A hero who is willing to have his soul torn apart to save people. You are my hero. Arash, who heard Izuku's words, could only smile. He sighed. He patted Izuku's shoulder and then walked away, leaving Izuku and Bedivere. You know what, Izuku, I admire you. You have talent and strong determination. If only you get another servant saber, I can assure you that you will become even stronger. Bedivere said while patting Izuku's shoulder. He then continued his words. I can't give much, I'm not a strong knight. I don't even know why Her Majesty Arthoria put me in the Knights of the Round Table. Even my noble phantasm was given by Merlin. I'm sorry if I can't be of much help. With a smile, Izuku replied to Bedivere's words, No, you are strong. I don't even know if I can compete with you in terms of never giving up. Da Vinci has told about you, about a knight with boundless loyalty, a knight who did not want his king to die, a knight who went on a journey to atone for his sins, but I don't think he's sinful, he's just human. Heroes are human too. We humans are bound by our emotions. Our emotions are what make us do things beyond human reason. Emotions are one of the keys to becoming a hero, and morals are the next. Bedivere chuckled. He looked at Izuku and walked away from Izuku. But just a few steps later, Bedivere stopped and turned around and looked at Izuku. You've grown up. I still remember 2 months ago you were still a crybaby, but now you are giving servant counseling about our story, Izuku Midoriya. I hope Ergitlam can help you. I leave the rest to you. With that, Bedivere continued his steps away from Izuku. With a smile, Izuku whispered, Leave the rest to me. I will become a cool hero using your powers. Izuku continued his steps to the bathroom. He cleaned himself, which was covered in sweat. His body was like a masterpiece carved by the god of craftsmanship. Meanwhile, in another place, Mirko wakes up in a hospital bed. She tries to remember what happened until she finally remembers that she was defeated by an old man. But the old man is not very old, so he is not an old man? Man, to hell with that. I want to ask him for a rematch. I can't accept that I lost just like that. Mirko, with a grin, immediately stood up from the hospital bed, but just as she wanted to walk, her legs trembled. She felt something was wrong. Her legs were not this weak. What happened? Her right leg, which was used to launch the final attack, felt numb. Mirko didn't even realize that her legs were numb, so she was shocked when she stood up and found that her legs were shaking. Damn it, how hard was that old man's shield? The thing made my legs feel numb after the collision. You old man. I will find you, and I will beat you black and blue, just you wait. With strong determination, Mirko promised to find Leonitis and defeat him. Support me under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment 3 Comet. Chapter 15, Reality Check, 1. Today is like any other day. I'm patrolling Mustafu. For some reason the crime rate here is very low. I explored every corner of this city until I heard an explosion. I immediately flew towards the sound of the explosion. I was so surprised when I saw Mirko fighting someone. They only exchanged punches and kicks, but that one didn't use his quirk. So I can't conclude that he's the villain Mirko fought. Considering Mirko often causes trouble and challenges people he considers strong, that person must be strong. Not long after the results came out, Mirko lost, lying unconscious, but when I was watching their fight, someone approached that person. He looked at me, he knew I was here. I was ready to attack him, but he suddenly gave a signal. I don't know what signal he was giving, but I think he was indicating that if I attacked him, I would regret my actions. So that's the reason why Muzudafu is the city with the lowest crime rate. There are 2 strong people who can stop many villains in the dark. Of course, the Hero Public Safety Commission is interested in this phenomenon. They want to add to their list of killing tools. I won't let them get the answer. I turned my attention back to the 2 people. They were walking away from the beach and finally got on public transportation. I continued following them until I arrived at the foot of Mount Agasayama. There I was surprised by the large building that stood alone there. There was a mansion, a garden, and many other facilities. I don't know who built it, but it took dedication. I approached the mansion stealthily, but suddenly an arrow shot towards me. I quickly avoided it, but it seemed like it would never end. The arrows kept coming. Finding myself having a hard time dodging all the incoming arrows, I used my quirk and released my feathers around, looking for where the arrows were coming from while in defense. And sure enough, not long after that, 2 people appeared. They were different from the ones before. This was the first time I met them. But the aura they gave off was no less than the 2 people who were at the place where Mirko was defeated. Who are you guys? I want to talk to the 2 people who just entered the mansion. I tried to explain to them because I didn't want any conflict to occur here. But the archer did not heed my words. He attacked me again, this time with more arrows than before, which made me dodge his attacks with difficulty. But when I deflected the arrow with my feathers, the arrow exploded. It exploded. FING exploded. Just great. Now how the hell do I dodge that mutafaking exploding arrow? I didn't know what to do, so I changed my tactics, changing my feathers into a katana. I accelerated, trying to stop the archer from shooting his arrow. SW-chan, Erjitlam. The light attack pushed away my katana. I was amazed by its power because my katana was destroyed by it. This rarely happens. Who exactly are they? They are stronger than the heroes at the top of the list. They are monsters. Maybe only All Might can fight them. That light attack is so annoying. They are a deadly duo. They are both long and short range. I only have one choice: to escape from here. I quickly accelerated my body in the air, breaking the sound barrier, speeding so fast, but there was one thing chasing me. That something was fast. When I looked back, I saw a young man with purple hair carrying a nodachi, and he was moving at high speed. I'm dead. Third POV. So, can you tell me why he is here? Sasaki asked Arash and Bedivere, who were just as confused as Sasaki. I don't know, I just came out to check the surroundings after giving Izuku all my power. Arash said. Bedivere also said the same thing. Haste, now what should we do with him? Give him to Da Vinci? Well, giving it to Da Vinci is the solution. I don't want to deal with this Birdman. Arash and Bedivere could only smile awkwardly. Because the one that made the Birdman faint was Sasaki, who suddenly appeared and made him faint, with the back of his nodachi right at the nape of the Birdman's neck. The three of them took the Birdman to Da Vinci. At the training ground, Da Vinci and Inko are training. They are already in the sparring phase. Inko has a talent that can be said to be surprising. She can keep up with Da Vinci, even though Da Vinci doesn't use magic. Their training is cut short when Sasaki, Arash, and Bedivere come over to them with an unconscious Birdman. So, what are you guys doing this time? I swear you guys always create problems. Do you know who he is? He is a top-ranking hero. His name is Hawk. Why did he faint like this? For that matter, we both can only say, Sasaki did it. And we withdraw from here. Bedivere said with a smile and disappeared from their sight. Arash, who heard Bedivere's words, also disappeared. Leaving Sasaki, Inko, and Da Vinci, Hawk is left unconscious and doesn't know what will happen to him. So, what do we do with him? Kill him? Or we release him into the wild? Sasaki said he was confused about what to do. It's not like that, idiot. You know I've infiltrated the Japanese government system, and I also have data from all the hero departments in Japan. And Hawk is an agent they have. He uses Hawk to eliminate anyone who has the potential to threaten the Hero Public Safety Commission's top brass. I just found out about that. Hawk is an agent, but why is Hawk here? I thought his patrol area wasn't here, because All Might patrols near here too. That's what you're mistaken about, Inko. Hawk are owned by the Hero Public Safety Commissions to do dirty things, and they want to know why crime in Mustafa has dropped to the point where there are almost no villain attacks. This happened because of Sasaki. Oh, why me? I didn't do anything. I just beat up the BSTRDS who attacked me, Sasaki said. He denied that he had lowered the crime rate here. Inko and Da Vinci, those who heard that, just looked at Sasaki with a strange look as if saying, we know you're lying. Okay, Riz. I did it. I couldn't stand seeing those BSTRDS do whatever they wanted, so I beat them up. Well, at most they only had broken bones. As the three of them were thinking about what they should do about Hawk, Achilles came and saw them discussing the hero Hawk. Hey guys, what are you talking about? Isn't this the Birdman I saw earlier? Why is he here? Hearing Achilles' words, the three of them immediately looked at Achilles. Finally, they knew who the mastermind behind why Hawk found them here was. Oh, so you were the one who didn't close the boundary field again when you entered. Because of your actions, Hero Hawk was able to enter. Luckily, Arash and Bedivere stopped him. Before he gets more information about us. Inko, who saw that a fight was about to happen, quickly broke them up. She then said, how about we make Hawk faint outside the boundary field, and don't forget to give him hallucination gas. That way he will think that what he saw was just a hallucination. And Achilles' job is to wait for Hawk to wake up and take Hawk to the hospital. If he asks why you came to Mount Agasayama, just give him your live streaming video where you made an altar to the goddess. Thetis. Achilles, with a serious look, asked, do you think he will be fooled by such an excuse? What if he only believes it on the surface, but inside he doesn't believe it? He believes his intuition more than what I was going to say. That makes sense. Okay, you know what? Let's cure Hawk first so he'll believe more that he was exposed to the hallucinogenic gas, and when he doesn't believe what you say, just invite him into the mansion. I will close many of our secret facilities in the boundary field so he will never find out. Isn't this dangerous? You know he's an agent of the Hero Public Safety Commission. I'm afraid something unwanted will happen after we invite him in. Da Vinci smiled hearing Inko's worry. Don't worry, Inko, we are strong. Even the current you is stronger than other heroes. But I understand why you're worried, but for now, leave it to us. Inko nodded, according to plan. Achilles took Hawk out of the mansion. He then gave Hawk a potion to remove the arrow wounds and bruises that occurred due to the fight. My head is spinning. What's happening? Where am I? He's the guy who was on the beach earlier. I followed him until I was suddenly attacked by two other people. And a third person appeared who made me faint. Hey man, are you okay? You passed out earlier because you inhaled hallucinogenic gas. You were lucky I was nearby and knew the person who owned this mansion, so I asked for the antidote for the hallucinogenic gas. Huh, seriously, I was exposed to hallucinogenic gas? I didn't realize it. Is it true that I was exposed to hallucinogenic gas? Somehow I don't believe it. Seriously, I was hit by hallucinogenic gas. By the way, why did you come here? Where is your friend? The friend who defeated Mirko. Mirko? You mean the little rabbit? Oh, we parted ways at the previous stop. He went to the hospital. You know his body is old, so he wanted to have a checkup at the same time. That makes sense, but why did Mirko attack your friend? Your friend isn't a villain, right? I saw the young man chuckle. He then gave me his phone. He then opened HeroTube and showed that Mirko was inviting him to fight, and Achilles, yes, his name is Achilles. Accepting Mirko's challenge, they agreed to meet at Takoba Beach, and unfortunately, Achilles' friends, who were relaxing, were affected. I apologize for what Mirko did to your friend, and can I meet the owner of this mansion? I just want to find out why he set the hallucinogenic gas trap here. Fair enough. Okay, follow me. I will lead you to the owner of this mansion, but let me tell you. She is famous. So the owner of this mansion is a woman, and she is famous. Is she an artist? We walked quite far until finally I saw a large mansion, different from what I saw at the beginning. Was it true that I was affected by the hallucinogenic gas? There are no other big buildings here. Yup, I was hit by hallucinogenic gas. We have arrived at the mansion. There I was greeted with an appealing view, a varied flower garden, and workers passing by carrying the harvest from the garden. So not everything I saw in my hallucination was wrong, so this place still has a garden. We continued our journey until we met the owner of this mansion. She is a woman, an appealing woman, and I have seen her. She is a famous novelist with the Chaldea as her novel. I have also read all 3 volumes of the novel. I never thought she would be in front of me right now. Welcome to my little house. Make yourself at home. So, is there anything I can help you with? Is this mansion a little house? Seriously, DMN, I'm speechless. Guys, this is the first 2K word chapter 1 ever wrote. Usually I write about 1K to 1.5K words, but this, I have outdone myself. Support me under ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment. Chapter 16. 16. Reality check. 2. Third POV. Hawk and Da Vinci get to know each other. Hawk, who is a fan of Da Vinci, finally asks for his autograph. Hawk, with Da Vinci's signature smile. Hawk also asked why Da Vinci set the hallucinogenic gas trap, to which Da Vinci replied that she was afraid someone would infiltrate. A well-founded fear, considering Da Vinci's famous work, was probably what convinced Hawk of all the strange things that had happened to him while he was here. They talked about Da Vinci's novels. Even Hawk got a leak about where Ritsuka Fujimura will go in the next volume. Hawk, who was busy chatting, finally realized that it was starting to get dark. With a heavy heart, he said goodbye to Da Vinci. He smiled and waved his hand and then flew away. Hawk, who was about to go home, remembered that Mirko was still on the beach, lying unconscious. Hawk quickly made a turn to where Mirko had fainted. Shortly after, Hawk could see Mirko unconscious. He then took Mirko flying to the nearest hospital. Mirko POV. My head. Where am I? Am I in the hospital? Look, my body is so sore. It's all because of that an old man. Next time I'll beat him up, but come to think of it, he doesn't look like an old man. But why does my instinct tell me he's like an old wolf? But the old man is not very old, so he is not an old man? Man, to hell with that. I want to ask him for a rematch. I can't accept that I lost just like that. With a grin, I tried to get up from this hospital bed, but something surprising happened. My legs were shaking so hard that I almost fell. What happened? Is this because of my last attack? My legs are getting numb like this. Damn it, how hard was that old man's shield? That thing made my legs feel numb after the collision. You old man. I will find you, and I will beat you black and blue, just you wait. I will definitely defeat him. I will not accept this defeat. Leonitis, huh? I will remember your name. Who is that? I turned towards the noise and saw Hawk standing there carrying a tray of food. Oh, you're awake. Finally I can go home in peace. Can you explain why you fainted on the beach? Hawk asked me. I then explained to him why this could happen. So, I was annoyed with that beastie Achilles, and then I asked him to fight. He said he would fight me at Takoba Beach. Of course, I was happy that he wanted to fight me. But I waited for a long time, and he never came. Surely that beastie was scared. So because I was angry, I saw someone there. The old man was also strong. I could feel it. And when I asked about that BSRD Achilles, he seemed to know Achilles, so I attacked him. But demon, that shield, it's so hard, I don't know what it's made of. Hey, do you know where he is now? I saw Hawk turn his face away. It seemed like he knew. This BS dude doesn't think that I don't realize that he knows. Well, then I'll just force him to spit out his answer. Hawk, quickly spit out where that BS star to Leonitis is. I will have a rematch with him. This is the first time I have felt this passion to challenge someone other than All Might. Hawk turned his face away again. He then put the tray on the table and darted out away from me. Hawk, wait for me to get better. I will pull out all the feathers on your wings. Well, but at least I know that Leonitis is in this city. I just have to patrol a few times, and I will definitely find him. This city is not big enough for me, Third POV. Inko mom, are you ready? I have made preparations to be reborn. Don't worry, I have also made our relationship clear. I will become your eldest child. Inko nodded. She hugged Da Vinci tightly and then said, yes. Come back quickly, okay? With a smile, Da Vinci activated her ritual. Light shone brightly from the circle of the diagram, and slowly but surely, Da Vinci's body gradually began to turn into particles. As the last particle of Da Vinci disappeared, the homunculus body inside the tube opened its eyes. With a slight movement from the homunculus, the tube opened by itself. Inko, who saw this, immediately ran and hugged Da Vinci. Da Vinci, who felt the warmth of Inko's affection, hugged her back tightly while saying, I'm back, Mom. Welcome back, my daughter. Inko and Da Vinci finally came out of the basement, heading towards the living room. In the living room there is Izuku and the other servants. Somehow I feel something is wrong. Wait a minute, did Da Vinci dye her hair? Achilles asked skeptically. No, try guessing again, said Da Vinci with a smug smile. I'm sure you've successfully created a magic crest for Inko. Sasaki said while crossing his arms. That's right, but there's one more thing that's different. Why are you guys very dense? Da Vinci, she said as she stamped her foot on the floor angrily. Seeing Da Vinci's behavior, the other servants could only smile. They knew that Da Vinci might be a narcissistic person, but she could be relied on in critical situations. Izuku, who heard Da Vinci's words, was silent. He then approached Inko and stared at her sharply. Mom, don't tell me you made Da Vinci my older sister, and the current Da Vinci is Da Vinci who took over a homunculus body with the same DNA as me. Pinpo. That's right, Fufu. I'm your older sister, now call me Wani-chan, Da Vinci said with a smug smile. No, wake me up from this dream, please. This is all not real. This is just a nightmare. There's no way I have an older sister with a narcissistic character. Sasaki patted Izuku's shoulder and then said, Izuku, you are not dreaming. This is reality. Accept this reality. Ha. Demen you, Sasaki, wait until I can enter Tsubeim Geishi. I will defeat you, Izuku said passionately while clenching his fists. While Izuku and Sasaki were arguing, Da Vinci with a smile said to Izuku, Izuku, as your older sister, I will give you all my abilities. Use them wisely, because if you don't, I will punish you. Mom, can we refund this whole sister thingy? Izuku turned to Inko in hopes of changing her mind. Inko didn't want to disappoint Izuku, so she smiled and said, sorry, no refunds. Yo, that's what Mom said, Izuku. Accept your defeat. Da Vinci was so happy that she jumped up and down. Even though Izuku seems to reject Da Vinci as his older sister, deep in his heart he already considers Da Vinci as his older sister. Well, welcome home then, Da Vinci on one-chan. Fuck, please, anyone kill me. Nope. This is hilarious. Achilles. Rayahach, Lancelot. Sorry, but we can't do that. Arash Bedivere Leonitis. Kiddo, say it again. What is that, Da Vinci? What? Ha, Sasaki. I hate you guys. We know we love you too, Izuku. No HMO though. Support me hee under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment 3 Comet. Chapter 17, Vigilante Mom Confirm? So, Mom, are you ready? I've made this magic crest especially for you. With this, it is guaranteed that you will become much stronger. Inko nodded, then she sat on the floor and closed her eyes. Da Vinci then immediately performed the magic crest transfer ritual. Inko, who received the magic crest, slowly found herself full of power, but not only that, Inko also found herself having memories of using all the skills in this magic crest for a long time. Inko gets many skills: Galvanism B, Natural Body A, Martha Home Cooking X, God of Medicine EX, for someone's glory, not for one's own glory, Presence Concealment Power of Like EX, Aegis, Divine Body Boundary Field Mana Burst, Lightning. Hey Davi-chan, isn't this too broken? I don't even know what to use this skill for, I'm just a housewife. Wrong, you are not just a housewife, you are a heroine. Didn't you forget, Mom? You want to be a heroine like Nana. Inko was silent for a moment, then she replied to Da Vinci. I did have an ambition to become a hero, but I've passed that time. You know, I thought the magic crest only gave one skill. So I thought the magic crest would only give me skills that would strengthen my quirk. But this. You've exceeded my expectations, Davi-chan. Ah, that's because Izuku-chan already has all of our powers, unlike you, Mom. It's just that Izuku-chan still can't use our power fully. It's like there's a limit that has to be passed before it can be used. Now Izuku-chan can use the power of the 4 of us. Me, Leonitis, Arash, and Bedivere. So you made Izuku's magic crest so simple with the aim of letting Izuku focus more on the skills of the 7 of you? That's right, we want Izuku-chan to focus on what he has, and now it's time for the world to know the strongest mother in the world. Stop that, I won't be able to become a heroine, even if I have all these powers, you know. We need a certificate to be able to use our quirk freely. There are vigilantes. They are heroes who use their quirks without having a certificate, and that is illegal, so they are often called illegal heroes. Inko explains to Da Vinci the reason why she can't be a heroine. Are you worried about that, Mom? You have an Aegis, armor that covers your entire body. You have presence concealment to eliminate your presence, and your heroine identity is safe with that skill. Even so, I still have a doubt, you know, I've never fought anyone other than you, so I don't know if I had to fight someone else whether I would hesitate to attack them. Mom, you have to remember, being a hero is not just about fighting villains, but helping people in need. Didn't you say yourself that you wanted to be a heroine like Nana? A hero who always smiles when helping people because you believe that only those who smile in difficult times are the strongest. As if hit by electricity, Inko realized what she had been thinking about. Yes, I want to be a heroine who can bring smiles to the many people I help. I want to be like her, like Nana. With high determination, Inko convinced herself that she could become a hero. Da Vinci, who saw all this, smiled. She felt relieved because Inko had started to come out of her shell. Inko was the same as Izuku, they were both trapped in their shells. Because of the Aegis skill, you don't need a costume, so you can just start making your debut. Isn't that amazing, Mom? Wait, really? But I'm not sure if this is right. Being an illegal hero feels wrong, said Inko while contemplating whether her choice to become a vigilante was right. Of course, you think we had a government system like this in the olden days? We all did those heroic things for one reason. There are people who need our help. That is the reason that drives us to help people. Now the choice is in your hands, Mom. Whether you become a hero or not, it doesn't matter whether it's legal or illegal. As long as your heart feels relieved when you help others with a smile, I'm happy too. Okay, I will become a heroine. Even if it is illegal, I will still do it to help people in need, Inko said with determination. But before that, Mom, you have to get used to it first, so we're delaying the debut time by 1 week. Inko nodded. Even though she herself had memories of using the power in this magic crest, she still wasn't used to it, or more precisely, her body wasn't used to it. What are you waiting for? Let's practice controlling this new power. After that, Inko and Da Vinci returned to training, this time with a clear goal: to make Inko ready to face the challenges of becoming a vigilante. Oh yeah, Mom, I just remembered one thing. There is a villain organization. They, or you could say their boss, is the person responsible for Nana's death. Her body is still in their hands. Should we take it back? Inko was shocked. She couldn't believe there was such an organization, and the most astonishing thing was Nana. Nana's body was in their hands. Are you serious, Davi-chan? There's no way Nana's body is still in the hands of that villain. I don't want to accept this fact. I will do anything to get her body back and bury it in a proper place. I'm serious, Mom, you know Sasaki. He's the one who often cleans up the villains in this area, and he's also the one who confirmed that Nana Shimura's body is still in their hands. Sorry if I'm just telling you this now. Inko was angry not at Da Vinci but angry at the villain who had taken Nana Shimura's body. Inko's determination was getting stronger. She would give her best so that something like this didn't happen. Don't worry, Mom. Sasaki will bring Nana Shimura's body here so you can bury Nana Shimura's body in peace. Inko answered hesitantly. She herself didn't know if she would be able to stay silent after seeing Nana Shimura's body. But one thing was for sure. If this world loses Nana Shimura, then I will replace her, take her place. And I will help more people with her style so that more people will remember Nana again, I promise. Support me under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Chapter 18. Hero Wannabe Meat Man on Drag? Ugh, this class is so boring. You know what? The lessons here aren't even challenging. I want to go home and wait for the latest All Might merch. The chalk flew at high speed. The teacher threw the chalk with a smile, even though Izuku knew the smile was fake. Midoriya, Izuku, can you stop talking in class? It hasn't even been 5 minutes since the bell rang. I would appreciate it if you could attend my class quietly. Thank you. Izuku just smiled. He knew his teacher was annoyed by his behavior, but he also couldn't do anything because Izuku hadn't read all the lesson material given by his teacher. Even though it can't justify Izuku's behavior, when you get bored of seeing something easy repeated over and over again, you will feel it. A feeling of boredom that continues to grow. Izuku spends his hours at school writing his professional hero quirk analysis. He himself is still trying to understand his new powers, especially Arash and Bedivere skills. Their skills are no less crazy than Leonitis skills. Just imagine having unlimited long-range attack reserves. And the best thing is that the arrow can explode, yes. By reinforcing it the same way he usually does, Izuku can make an arrow that explodes when it hits the target. Now imagine there are 100 arrows raining down on the enemy, and the arrows explode. Amen, that's absolute cinema. The hours passed quickly until the first PRD of class was over. Izuku walked out of the classroom to go to the toilet, but just as he was about to enter, Izuku was stopped by Bakugo and the gang. Damn it, why did it have to be them? Haste, this is what makes me lazy. If I fight them now, there is no guarantee that they will stay away from me, especially Bakugo. Bakugo, who looks annoyed, holds Izuku by his collar. But Izuku, who has received Spartan training and sparring with Sasaki, has grown taller than he used to be. Izuku stands at 180 centimeters tall, 5 feet 11 inches. Quite tall considering that no other child his age is that tall. Actually, Izuku could be taller than he is now because of the golden rule, body. He can create a body that is perfect in terms of beauty. But Izuku didn't change it, because if he suddenly grew to 6.3 feet tall, who would have known that he was a junior high school student? Back to Bakugo and the gang. Bakugo, who is holding Izuku's collar, looks a bit troubled. The significant height difference means Bakugo has to stand on tiptoe to hold Izuku's collar. Izuku looked at Bakugo with a strange look. Maybe he didn't expect Bakugo to be this short. P.S. Bakugo will grow taller, guys. Right now Bakugo is 168 centimeters tall, but he is 13 right now, so in his 14, he will grow up to 172 centimeters tall. Bakugo, why don't we just end this? You know I'm not the Deku you know. I'm Izuku, not the quirkless kid you bullied before. Shut up. Bakugo shouted, and then used his quirk. An explosion occurred right in front of Izuku's face, but Izuku didn't move, he had already reinforced his body. Bakugo's attacks just felt like small firecrackers. That's it? Just like that? I thought you were strong, but what is this? Even firecrackers are stronger than your attack just now. Hearing this, Bakugo was overcome with emotion, and he blindly attacked Izuku, which made his friend, who often bullied Izuku, slowly retreat. They didn't want to get hit by Bakugo's explosion. Explosion after explosion occurred, but Izuku remained unmoved. If Izuku had moved now, Sasaki would have been laughing out loud by now. Because of the training Izuku did, it's no wonder he can hardly feel the pain from Bakugo's attacks. Sasaki's attacks hurt more. Sasaki. Izuku, who was annoyed with Sasaki, accidentally countered the attack by hitting Bakugo right in the stomach, causing Bakugo to fly and hit the wall. SHT, sorry Bakugo, I didn't mean it. Izuku himself panicked because he didn't control his punch. Even without the additional mana burst, Izuku's current punch was enough to make Leonitis, who had endurance A, move back because of the attack. Izuku, stop with your pity, I don't need that. Wait till I beat you up. Bakugo faints. This made Izuku and the others panic. Those who panicked immediately left Bakugo, leaving Izuku there. So I have to take Bakugo to the infirmary myself. Great, just FNG great. Could this get any worse? So Izuku took Bakugo to the infirmary, break time was about to end, and Izuku went to the canteen to buy bread to fill his stomach. After that, not much happened. The last bell rang, signaling that school was over. Izuku left the classroom like his other friends. He then took his shoes from his school locker. When he opened his locker, there was a letter, a love letter. But Izuku ignored it and threw it in the trash. Never mind the girl who gave the love letter. If she really liked Izuku before, why didn't she help? But now that Izuku has become stronger and more handsome, they have started appearing. What are they, hypocrites? After throwing away the letter, Izuku continued his steps home. He passed the same path every day until he finally arrived at the bus stop. There he sat waiting for the bus. Looking to his right, Izuku saw a man with a skinny body and yellow hair. An unnatural combination, but this happens a lot nowadays. Maybe the person has been using illegal drugs for too long. Izuku, who was bored, opened his phone. He opened Hirobai to see if anyone was selling the latest All Might merch, because the thing Izuku regrets the most is that he can't buy a lot of premium All Might hoodie merch because he was too slow in buying the merch. While browsing on Hirobai, Izuku saw a new item on the All Might official store. There was a cup with All Might signature. Izuku quickly bought the cup, and Izuku didn't hold back in buying it. With the pocket money that Vinci had just given him, Izuku was able to buy it. Yes, finally I got a premium All Might cup, 100 of that. Izuku was so happy that he shouted at the bus stop, without realizing there was someone next to him. Hey young man, is the item really that valuable that you were so excited when you got it? I think that thing is useless. Blurg. The person vomited blood. This made Izuku shocked and he asked, "Are you okay, sir? Do you want to be taken to the hospital?" No need. This has happened many times, so what is your answer about the merch? Do you think it is worth it? I don't know, I grew up seeing All Might smiling while helping people. I also want to be like him. Besides, most of the money for this merch was donated by All Might. For those in need. The skinny man who heard Izuku's words fell silent. Before he asked again, then what if All Might didn't actually donate the money but spent it on a spree? Izuku smiled. Never mind, being a hero requires vacation time alone anyway. If with my money I can help All Might be more active in helping people, then I'm relieved. If All Might like that, it's okay, no human is perfect. Izuku then stood up because the bus had arrived. He then entered the bus, leaving the skinny man at the bus stop. Who was that kid, I wonder? I'll talk to Nizu about this later. My body feels weaker every day. I have to find my successor. When the thin man wanted to get on the bus had already moved, leaving the thin man alone. Ding, what should I do now? Oh, Nizu. Yes, please. Pick me up at the bus stop on the Mustafa route, yes. I missed the bus again. Thank you. Support me under ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment. Chapter 19. I become a vampire? She bite me. 200 collection, bro. I don't even know when I started this fanfic. I get more than 200 people who bookmark this garbage. So how about this? Next week, if we enter the Power Stone ranking, I will give more chapters. Just being in the top 200 is okay. I even thought it was impossible. Getting into the top 200 is difficult. But yeah, I just want to upload more chapters but don't want to release them because that's my backup in case I get sick or get busy and can't write. But if we have a goal, there is a hole. I may be an a-hole, but you still read this hole. Plus Ultra. Izuku POV. Finally I arrived home. On the way home there was a strange person. I could feel that he was strong. But his body was destroyed like that. Maybe he's a retired hero who fought a powerful villain and survived with injuries that forced him to retire. I hope he's okay, but the most important thing now is to learn Magecraft from Da Vinci. I'm ashamed to admit it, but Da Vinci is my sister now, so yeah, I have to say, One-chan, so she will teach me about Magecraft. What a shame, though, I am already at the stage of learning transmutation and displacement magic. Da Vinci, can we start our Magecraft training? I can't wait to learn transmutation and displacement magic. Da Vinci smiled at me with a smug smile. She said, "Where is One-chan, Izuku-chan?" Sometimes I hate this, but for this time, in order to learn transmutation and displacement magic, I will follow her request. One-chan, when do we start Magecraft training? I can't wait. I hate it, kill me already. Of course, Izuku-chan, super duper invincible genius Da Vinci. One-chan is ready to help you, hehe. Now let's start. Yes, hurry up, I want to learn a musical instrument again soon. For some reason I'm currently interested in playing the guitar. Then Da Vinci and I started our training. Third POV. Elsewhere, in a hidden place with many life-supporting facilities, where the faceless man lives. A figure of a man appeared carrying a nodachi. His movements were fast, so fast that if the faceless man didn't have a detection quirk, he wouldn't be able to see the man's movements. What do you want, swordsman? I don't think I have a problem with you. I'm a person who is already at death's door. I wouldn't want to deal with you if I could avoid it. So explain what you want. You know what, your way of looking at me with a superior gaze makes me sick. If I wanted to, I could kill you now, but no, I will wait until the time comes. Your time of death has been set. The countdown has started. The faceless man chuckled a little. Without warning, he immediately attacked Sasaki. His fingers lengthened and became sharper like black tendrils. Sasaki, who saw this, grinned. Finally he got what he wanted, fighting without restraint. Quickly all the fingers pointing at Sasaki were cut off. The speed even surprised the faceless man. Even though his fingers regenerated, it was still rare for any of them to penetrate his defenses. Hey, what's your name? I don't want to fight with a corpse that has no name. Sasaki's words made the faceless man chuckle. He then said, "Many people have forgotten about me. I am the demon king who rules the underworld. I'm all for one." Getting his answer, Sasaki entered his stance. Then, as if he had received a shock attack, All for One was shocked. His hands and feet were cut off. It was so cleanly cut off that even his body thought it never happened. All for One, huh? Here I thought that you were stronger. Turns out you are just a small fry. Then I will hand your life over to my disciple later. With that, Sasaki disappeared again. He didn't forget to take Nana Shimura's body from there. After Sasaki disappeared, Dr. Garaki came for help. He took the Nomu and Shigaraki to the All for One room. But when he got there, the room only showed damage from All for One's attacks, especially his rivet stab quirk attack. Mr., where is the intruder? Have you defeated him? My Mr. is indeed great. No one can escape from him. All for One was silent. He himself didn't know Sasaki's true motives. He only knew that Sasaki took Nana Shimura's body. No, he ran away. This is the first time I've met someone strong other than All Might. It looks like you have to find out who he is, Doctor. All for One. Then he continued his words. Look for a man in a kimono. He carries a nodachi, and his hair is purple. I want to get the answer tomorrow. Dr. Garaki just nodded. How hard is it to find someone like that when you dive into the government system? The answer is not easy, but it is not difficult either. This world is unfair. They impose their will on others. They don't think about whether other people feel hurt or uncomfortable because they can't express their true selves. I want to live in a world where I can express my true feelings. I want to be able to love that person. His bright red blood makes me feel an unstoppable longing to love him, drinking his blood and becoming him. I want to feel it. But all that can't be done. I know my love is strange, but I really love him. I will do everything to be able to love him. But when I express myself to him, other people don't accept that side of me. They think of me as a freak, a demon, a despicable creature who has no right to live, even though I just want to express my feelings. I hate this world. I want to destroy this world and create a new one. A new world where people are free to express themselves without being considered weird. I walked again, walking into the mountains where people like me felt accepted. No one would call me a monster. I don't know how long I walked, but my vision started to fade, my stomach growled, and my body felt weak. Am I going to die here? No, I'll just take a nap. I'll sleep in that bush. Your morning eyes, I could stare like watching stars. I could walk you by, and I'll tell without a thought. I heard a voice, a sweet singing. Whose voice is that? He is singing this song. Appealing. You'd be mine. Would you mind if I took your hand tonight? No, you're all that I want in this life. I walked towards the sound. The closer I got, the more I heard the song. I saw him. Saito? Did I die and was greeted by Saito? Did Saito accept my love? I don't know what to do. I'll imagine we fell in love. I'll nap under moonlight skies with you. I think I'll picture us, you with the waves, the ocean's colors on your face. Saito, do you really accept my feelings? I want to feel your love once again. Let me feel your love, Saito. I'll leave my heart with your air, so let me fly with you. Will you be forever with me? Yes, I will always be with you, forever, Saito. I love you. I ran excitedly, then grabbed his shoulder and bit it. The taste of this blood was different. That wasn't Saito. What did I do? No, I don't know what happened to me. My head hurts. Izuku POV. WTF just happened? Oh shit, I just threw my guitar. I hope my guitar is okay. More importantly, who the hell is she? Wait a minute, will I become a vampire? She just bite me, oh hell nah. Support me, _schwinkfs. ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. For comment. Chapter 20, Himiko Toga. So, what happened to her? After biting my neck, she suddenly fainted. It seems like she has a blood-related quirk. That's right, from the scan I did earlier, she's starving, and her quirk shows a worrying condition. Her quirk forces her to drink blood, and if she doesn't comply, her longing will grow. Growing into a monster who is ready to influence to do anything to taste blood. It's quite scary, huh? If she continues to suppress her longing to drink blood, it is certain that in a few months she will become a serial killer, DMN. Da Vinci then did some more tests and finally concluded that now her quirk had gone down from seeing everything bloody as a means of venting her feelings. Changed to normal? No, it's more than that. The quirk has become tame. Any idea who the girl is? Luckily, because of Arasha's robust health, I didn't really feel any pain in the neck area. Well, you're in luck. Oh, I found the data. Let's see. Himiko Toga, Izuku-chan. It seems like what we were worried about has already happened. She has committed a crime even though the victim is still alive. Wait, did she really do that? She already tasted the blood. Izuku was shocked beyond belief. Perhaps Izuku would be used by the girl as a blood bank. Well, but thanks to your blood, which contains mana, you managed to make her aware of what she was doing. She can survive for about a week if she drinks your blood. Now Izuku-chan has another name, blood bank. Oh hell nah, take that back. Ain't no blood bank. Izuku then ran away from the basement, leaving Da Vinci and Himiko alone there. Inko, who saw Izuku come out of the basement, was confused. What happened in the basement that Izuku was there? Curiously, Inko entered the basement. where she was shocked to see a girl who had fainted there. Davi-chan, who is that girl? Confused, Inko asked. Da Vinci was confused about how to answer Inko's question. How should I explain it, Izuku-chan? He was bitten by this girl, and this girl has a quirk mutation that makes her dependent on blood. At least her quirk changes her nature from the usual, and Izuku-chan is the antidote to this quirk mutation. With the mana flowing in Izuku-chan's blood, he can make this girl sane. Should we help this girl, Mom? Of course, this girl is pitiful. Inko's eyes softened, but Da Vinci added, but she had a history of committing crimes. Inko was shocked. A girl this small, a girl who was only a little older than Izuku, had already committed a crime. What made the girl do that? What did the girl do? How could she do it? Inko asked Da Vinci in confusion. Da Vinci then answered, actually, when she did that, she was influenced by the side effects of her quirk, which made it hard for her to contain her longing to taste blood, and overall she had been holding herself back for a long time until the dam finally broke. And then the incident happened. You know the junior high school student who hurt her friend and drank his blood? Yes, this is that girl. Himiko Toga. Oh, poor Himiko, is there anything we can do to help? You know I feel sorry for her even though this incident has been going on for more than 5 months. But other people are terrorizing her family every day until they move. But why is Himiko here? Shouldn't she be with her parents? Apparently, Himiko Toga was abandoned by her parents because her parents thought that Himiko Toga was beyond help and didn't want to deal with the source of their problems. Inko was angry, very angry. There were parents in this world who didn't love their children, but Inko had never seen it clearly, but here, in front of her eyes, there was an abandoned child. With a gentle smile, Inko promises that she will take care of Himiko, clear her name, and help other children who are not accepted by this world because of their differences. Da Vinci saw Inko's determination. She began to see Saint Martha in Inko at this time. Maybe it was just her imagination, but maybe this was for the best. Inko has extraordinary powers but still has moral boundaries. Himiko Toga POV. I had a dream where everyone accepts my shortcomings. They don't look at me strangely because of my dependence on blood. I want a world like that, but it's all just a dream. All that is just my imagination to escape from the cruelty of this world. I know what I did was wrong. The way I expressed my feelings was wrong. I don't know why this all happened. Is it wrong if my character is influenced by a quirk? Is it wrong that I did something criminal will do? Yes, it's all wrong. I've been holding back these feelings for too long until I can't hold them back anymore. Opening my eyes, I was in a strange place, with many tools and big tubes. Am I still dreaming? I don't care. Maybe I'll be used as an experimental subject. I don't care. Who is that woman? She is appealing. I think she is a good mother. Maybe if she were my mother, would she want to have a daughter like me? Hey, if I were your daughter, would you be my mother? I guess not. I accidentally thought out loud. They looked at me with sad eyes. I don't need your sadness. I don't need your pity. I just want an answer. The woman came over to me. She hugged me tightly. I was silent. I didn't know what to do. I've never felt this way before. Is this a mother's love? It feels warm. I like it. You want to know my answer? Yes, I will be your new mother. From now on, you will be called Midoriya Himiko, my second daughter. You see that woman? Yes, she is your sister. I was surprised. There were people who wanted to accept me, this demon's child, this monster's child. I was accepted. I am this despicable creature, and someone accepts me. I'm happy, my tears are flowing, I'm happy, I have a family again. I won't waste this opportunity. I want to be better, no. I will try to be the best version. I'm Midoriya Himiko, not Himiko Toga. Do I deserve to be happy like this? I have committed a crime. Do you regret what you said? I said in a trembling voice. I didn't want to lie to this woman. But this woman looked at me gently. She stroked my hair and said, I already know what you did, but I think you can be better. You are not a criminal, but your parents, who do not understand your situation, are the ones who deserve to be called criminals. My tears flowed again. I choked and said, So I'm your daughter now, Mom? The woman replied with a smile, Yes, You are my daughter, Midoriya Himiko, and I am Midoriya Inko, your mother. Hee Midoriya Inko, my mother. I am happy, very happy. I hugged Inko, my mother. The mother I always wanted. I hope this isn't all a dream. Chapter 21. Now I'm the youngest really. Bonus chapter. Yesterday I said if we make it to the top 200, I will give a bonus chapter. And I just realized that this fanfic was in the top 200 from the start, even though it was only the last 30-day section. But it is what it is. Well, enjoy this garbage. Third POV. The next day. Izuku is getting ready to go to school. He is at the dining table waiting for his breakfast. While scrolling on HeroTube looking for the latest news from All Might. All Might saves the day again. With his moves and speed he can defeat the villains easily. Can I do it? Doing things as efficiently as All Might do. Izuku, who was watching HeroTube, didn't realize that there was someone else at the table. This continued until Da Vinci finally came out of the basement and greeted Izuku. Hey Izuku-chan, have you met her yet? Izuku then turned his face and looked at Da Vinci. He was confused about what she meant until he looked to his left. At that moment, Izuku was shocked. He immediately stood up from his seat. With a finger pointing at the girl, Izuku said, She. Why is she here, Da Vinci? That's so rude, Izuku. Quickly apologize to her. Next time ask her name first and then act like that. Understand? The girl who heard Da Vinci's words just smiled gloomily. She then said, It's okay, Da Vinci One-chan. I should apologize first. I'm sorry I bit your neck. I promise I won't do that again. With a strange face, Izuku muttered in his heart, Davi One-chan? Could it be that she is my new sister? Oh hell nah. Seeing Izuku's facial expression, Da Vinci laughed, and with a smug smile, she said, Izuku-chan, nice to meet your new big sister. Her name is Midoriya Himiko. Why do you look unhappy? Hearing Da Vinci's words, Izuku already knew what would happen next, so he just forced a smile and said, I'm sorry for what I did earlier, I was just shocked. The matter of you biting my neck, I have forgiven you. You were not conscious when you did it but were driven by your quirk's longing. With a smile, Izuku then continued his words. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Let me introduce myself. My name is Midoriya Izuku. If what Da Vinci said is true, that means you will be my new older sister. Better than Da Vinci. Da Vinci, who heard that, didn't accept it. He hit Izuku with a soft blow. Moo. Why can't you accept me as your older sister? But accepting Himiko-chan easily, be honest with me, Izuku-chan. Because at least she is a real woman, but you, I don't even know if what is written in the history books is true, that you are a man. Da Vinci angrily said, What did you say? I'm a man? Can't you see my CC body? Izuku-chan, take back what you said earlier if you don't want something bad to happen. What will happen? I am not afraid. But suddenly Da Vinci disappeared, quickly launching an attack towards Izuku. If you are still stubborn, I will make your head a little soft. Da Vinci then attacked Izuku again. Izuku quickly materialized his shield. The two of them seemed to be playing tag. Himiko, who saw it, smiled. She felt that she shouldn't be here and disturbing this family. But when Himiko felt sad, suddenly the chase between Izuku and Da Vinci stopped. They stopped and looked at Himiko. Izuku then walked towards Himiko. He then said, Why are you sad? I accept you as my older sister, far more than Da Vinci. I can see my old self in you. The girl trapped in her shell, I hope you like your new family. Even though I have many shortcomings, I hope you will accept me. Himiko One-chan. With teary eyes, Himiko smiled and said, I will cherish this family. Thank you for accepting me here. Da Vinci, who saw all this from the side, just smiled. Izuku being able to accept Himiko easily was beyond her expectations. She even thought that Izuku would have a hard time accepting Himiko into this family. Until suddenly Da Vinci realized that Izuku was only rejecting her. Da Vinci angrily smacked Izuku's head. Why do you treat me differently, Izuku-chan, even though I'm your older sister? Izuku, who felt his head being smacked, could only say, ouch. Then Izuku took cover behind Himiko while saying, Himiko One-chan, please protect me from that witch. What did you say? Witch? Izuku-chan, I'll tell you what a real witch is. Just as Da Vinci was about to use her Magecraft, Inko came with food. Inko, who saw the behavior of her children, just smiled. Davi-chan, don't be like that. Your sister is still new here, don't surprise her with your magic. Inko said while tidying up the dining table with her telekinesis. Inko then continued her words. You too, Izuku, don't tease your sister all the time. Inko with her telekinesis brings all the food she made directly to the dining table. She then looked at Himiko and stroked her head. You don't feel bothered by their behavior, right? Forgive them if they bother you. Himiko shook her head. She herself thought that family was like this. A family full of warm interactions between siblings and the parents who break up the dispute between them. A happy family in Himiko's mind. No, I'm not bothered by their behavior. I'm happy to be accepted into this family, said Himiko with a smile. One by one the servants appeared. They were none other than Sasaki, Achilles, Leonitis, and Lancelot. Arash and Bedivere couldn't come along because their jobs required them to stay there. Hey kiddo, now you're the youngest here, huh? Don't expect me to reduce your training because you are the youngest. By the way, I'm Sasaki. If you want to learn how to use a sword, knife, or whatever, you can come to me. Welcome to the family. I'm Leonitis. Nice to meet you. Hey princess, I am Achilles. The fastest hero in history. If anyone bothers you, just call me. I will come and beat him up. Reawaf. Ah, Lancelot said, I will protect you too. Himiko was silent. She didn't know what to say. She just nodded confusedly. Because she doesn't know who they are. But it seems like they are part of this family. Izuku, who saw Himiko confused, chuckled. He then explained, actually, they are all the manifestations of my quirk. My quirk can summon heroes from the past and materialize them here. Of course there is a price to pay to materialize them in this world. The price is mana, the energy that I have and you feel when you drink my blood. Himiko was silent. She remembered when she drank Izuku's blood, she felt something awaken in her body. She could also feel that power, the power that Izuku had mentioned earlier. Mana. Magical energy. So that's what it's called, mana. I can feel it. Did I also awaken mana? Da Vinci then immediately interrupted Himiko's words. That's right, you managed to awaken your magic circuit, even though it's only temporary, but with my help I can make it permanent. Do you want to? Himiko was silent. She didn't know what to answer. Da Vinci, who saw this, then continued, it's okay, you can choose it later. For now, we will focus on this food, Mom cooks. Very well. Himiko just nodded and immediately ate what was in front of her. When she ate it all, her 5 senses felt boundless pleasure. It's strange considering that food can only be tasted by the tongue, but it can stimulate the 5 senses. This was the first time Himiko had tasted food this delicious. I hope days like this will last until the end, Himiko prayed in her heart. Support me under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Chapter 22. Inko resign and Izuku new guitar. Izuku went to school, Achilles went sailing to find fish, Leonitis went to work, and Da Vinci was busy in his basement again, and Inko was going to work. Himiko and Lancelot were confused about what to do, so they just sat watching a movie on TV. Inko POV. The day finally came, the day I resigned. I think I can relax for a while. Da Vinci has been forcing me to retire for a long time. But only today can I really resign, because processing resignation in Japan is a bit difficult. Thank you, boss, for accepting me into your company, but I have to resign. I have other responsibilities at home, so I don't have enough time to focus on work. Are you really serious, Inko? If you have a problem, just tell me, we can discuss the problem and find a solution together. Is it because your salary is not enough? We can increase your salary. Inko shook her head. She then said, no boss, I appreciate you, but that's not the problem. My daughter told me to retire early and rest at home. Daughter? I thought you only had a son, but now you have a daughter? Did your son change his IC? Inko chuckled at what her boss said. She then explained what happened. Inko said that she adopted 2 girls. Inko's daughter is the child of a distant relative who was struck by a disaster created by a villain and needed a guardian. Inko now has 2 additional children. After that, Inko's boss didn't ask any more questions. With a heavy heart, he let Inko go, accepting her resignation. Inko, who had left her workplace, immediately went to the market. She wanted to go on a shopping spree to celebrate her retirement. Meanwhile, Izuku goes through his day as usual, without any problems, but one regret is that his guitar was destroyed because he threw it yesterday. So Izuku intends to buy a new guitar. Coincidentally, he also wants to record his song, so he looks for a place that sells musical instruments and a music studio to record his song. Izuku searched for the place on his phone, more precisely on Hero Map. There he found several places that sold musical instruments, but not music studios, so he searched further until he finally found a complete musical instrument shop with a music studio. The name of the shop is Kyoto Music. When he saw that the place was not far and was still in Shizuoka Prefecture, Izuku planned to go there after school was over. Midoriya, can you focus on class? I don't want any rebellious kids in my class. Now you focus on class, or I will expel you from my class. Without any other choice, Izuku nodded. He then apologized to his teacher. Even so, Izuku didn't pay any further attention to his class. He already knew this lesson by heart. Time passes, school is over, and Izuku then prepares to go to the Kyoto Music Store. Without any obstacles, Izuku finally gets there. Welcome to Kyoto Music Store. Just as I entered, Izuku was greeted warmly by the staff there. Izuku then went around and found the guitar section. There he saw many good guitars with various types and models. Like in heaven, Izuku wants to try them one by one. When he was just about to hold the guitar, his hand touched someone's. Izuku reflexively turned his head and saw a girl who also wanted to try the guitar. Excuse me, you can try this guitar first, I'll try that one. The girl gave in and took the other guitar. Izuku just nodded, he didn't want to bother either. Izuku happily tried the guitar, and sure enough, this guitar suited him. Yamaha Pacifica 611, that was the guitar he was trying out. Izuku then tries to play the song Helena by My Chemical Romance. The girl who wanted to try the guitar suddenly turned her head when Izuku played the song. Her eyes shone like someone who had found gold, but she didn't bother Izuku, who was playing. Instead, she looked at Izuku with a smile. Izuku finally finished playing the song. He realized that the girl had been watching him all this time. Izuku awkwardly said, "Is there anything I can help with? I just realized that you've been watching me all this time. Do you still want to try this guitar?" The girl, who was caught looking at Izuku, was embarrassed. With a blushing face, she shook her head and explained why she had been staring at Izuku. "I was actually just amazed by your guitar playing. I thought you were a newbie. Moreover, your clothes are still using Aldra Junior High School, so our ages are not that far apart, so I'm amazed that someone can play the guitar that smoothly at the same age as me." Izuku nodded. He stretched out his hand and said, "My name is Midoriya Izuku, nice to meet you." The girl smiled and reached for Izuku's hand. "Nice to meet you too. I'm Kyokujiro, by the way. You played Helena's song very well." Izuku was surprised that there were people who still knew this song, considering that this song was an old song. You know this song. It's very rare for someone to know an old song like this, but I didn't think someone would know this song, especially since she's the same age as me." Jiro chuckled. "What do you know? I've liked music since I was little, and my parents also like music, and MC has the best place in my heart. They are that good." Izuku nodded. "Yeah, they are indeed good. You know what? Scratch that, they are the best." Jiro shook his head. "No, they are not the best." Izuku frowned and said, "Yes, they are." They argued until finally they were reprimanded by someone, and he is Jiro's father, Kyoto. They finally talked, and Izuku also expressed his intention here too. He wanted to buy this guitar and rent the studio for a while to record his song cover. Of course, Jiro's father complied. He saw that there was a young man who had the same hobby and could be close to his daughter. Of course, he was happy to be able to help. Time passed so quickly, they didn't even realize that it was already very late. Izuku panicked and said goodbye to them. Kyoto offers to take Izuku home, but Izuku is reluctant to accept the offer. Jiro then forces Izuku to accept her father's help. With that, Izuku could only smile and follow their wishes. He then gave his address to Jiro's father. By riding in the car, they finally arrived at their destination. At the foot of Mount Agasime, Jiro and her father were immediately shocked when they entered the area because there was a large mansion standing there. Izuku then told them to stop there. He originally wanted to invite them in first but remembered it was already late. Izuku changed his mind and said that he would invite them tomorrow because he wanted to make his own studio at home. That way Izuku arrived home safely, but was he safe from Inko's wrath? Of course not. Support me under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Chapter 23, The World Shall No Smile. In the midst of the darkness of the night, the glittering night world does not cover up the crimes that occur. Even though it's night, the heroes don't stop working. They patrol to minimize the occurrence of villain attacks. The sound of the explosion shattered the silence of the night. The heroes who heard it immediately ran towards the explosion. In the midst of the riot, there is a villain with a large body. His quirk is a mutation that gives him strength similar to a crocodile. Strong jaws, thick scales, and the ability to eat rocks and spit them out as a ranged attack. He is a formidable enemy, very formidable considering his body is surrounded by thick scales. We need help here. The situation is critical. This villain's quirk is out of control, like what happened 3 years ago. A hero calls for help, all this because the heroes in that area only contain low-rank heroes. But when the villain was getting more and more rampant in his attacks, buildings were destroyed by his long-range attacks. The longer he raged, the more casualties occurred. All hope has disappeared. There is no All Might who comes to save the day. There are no other heroes who come to help defeat this villain. Suddenly there was a woman. She flew between the buildings. With flashy armor and an eye mask, she attacked the villain. One attack. It was all over in one attack. The woman then turned her attention to the victims trapped in the destroyed building. She uses her quirk. They don't know what her quirk is, but what is certain is that her quirk is very strong, so strong that she can lift all the destroyed buildings easily. After that, she helps the victims. With a gentle smile, the woman gathered the victims. When they were all confused about what had just happened, suddenly a light appeared from their bodies. Slowly their wounds healed. This was very surprising considering they thought that this woman's power was telekinesis, but she could heal others without any side effects. The heroes at the scene could only remain silent. They did not know who this woman was or whether this woman was the help they asked for. They also did not know. A small child cried, suddenly breaking the silence that had occurred because of the armored woman. The woman then looked at the child. The woman then approached the child. Out of nowhere, she suddenly gave the child candy and stroked his hair. Then she asked, "Why are you crying?" The woman asked the little boy. The child answered, "I can't find my mother. I got separated during the villain attack. I'm scared." With a smile, the woman made a gesture with her thumbs on her cheeks, a smile. A big smile. Do you know why All Might always smiles? Because a smiling person is a strong person, whatever your problem. If you smile, it means you are strong. The little boy who heard it stopped crying. Like magic, the little boy also smiled. The woman then stroked his hair again and flew away, disappearing from sight. The next day, there was a surprising incident last night, exactly at 11 p.m. A villain attack occurred. Fortunately, there were no fatalities, but losses are estimated to exceed 10 billion yen. In the scene of the crime, many claim to have seen a woman who has the same style as the long-dead hero. According to the victim's testimony, she has the same telekinesis quirk as Nana Shimura. At least the way she uses her quirk power is similar. Is Nana Shimura still alive all this time? Or what happened this time was just a vigilante using Nana's identity? Stay with us on the Hero News channel. The news then stopped and was replaced by advertisements. Meanwhile, a skinny man and a mouse, bear, or dog are watching the news. All Might, I've got a video of her appearance. Do you want to confirm that she is your teacher? Yes, I have felt restless since that woman appeared. I don't think I can sleep. After knowing this, if I ignore it, I think I will be haunted by this guilt. Nizu, please help me find out who this woman is. Nizu agreed to All Might's request. He then took a sip of his coffee, and then Nizu said, "In my opinion, her body proportions are similar, her hairstyle is similar, but there is one thing that is different. She doesn't have a mole near her lips. So the possibility that she is your teacher is very small." All Might was silent. He clenched his fists. He still can't accept that his teacher died, and now there is someone pretending to be Nana Shimura. All Might angrily bangs the table and destroys it. All Might realized what he did was wrong, so he apologized to Nizu. He then left the room and promised to find the imposter. Meanwhile at All for One headquarters. Interesting, I thought, why did that person take Nana Shimura's body? Turns out this is the intention, making it seem like Nana Shimura rose from her grave. I admit you are great at making this drama scheme. All for One felt entertained. He then saw Dr. Garaki. The thing he asked for still couldn't be obtained by Dr. Garaki. The person who took Nana Shimura's body hadn't been found at all. Even if the data is hard to find, there are many that have similar characteristics, but none of them have a speed-type quirk. Forgive me, my lord, I cannot fulfill your request. I have searched various government archives, but the results are still 0. All for One shook his head and said, "Stop your search, you won't be able to find him. Now focus on the fake Nana in the news, give me her information. She is connected to that man that if I already know who the woman is, I'm sure we can find the man easily." Dr. Garaki nodded and turned his focus to the fake Nana. He was also confused that someone was impersonating Nana Shimura. What is their purpose? It's still a mystery. Let's celebrate the first debut of Vigilante Smile. I'm proud of you, Mom. They also celebrated happily, without worrying about the enemies lurking in the darkness. Give me some stone. Support me, hee under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment 3 Comet. Chapter 24, Servant with Their Job for. Bedivere POV. I was watching Arash and Miss Momo practicing archery. I don't know why Miss Momo is interested in this. Maybe because Arash has a power similar to Miss Momo's quirk. Arash can make arrows and bows to help him fight. When Arash first registered as a member of Miss Momo's bodyguard, his quirk already attracted the attention of many people. Because Arash explained how his power works like Miss Momo's quirk creation, they also told Arash to provide training for Miss Momo. The kind Arash couldn't refuse, so now Arash is Miss Momo's personal trainer, but bad luck happened to me too. Even though Arash is kind, he is mischievous. He deliberately said that I was strong in close combat and suggested that I also train Miss Momo. Arash, I just want to work in peace. According to my job description, I should only be dropping off Miss Momo and picking her up, but now I have to teach Miss Momo how to use a sword. I'm not good at that part. I'm the weakest knight at the round table. I don't have the confidence to teach Miss Momo how to use a sword. What should I do? Resign? Not a bad idea. Hey Beatty, why are you daydreaming? Come here quickly and start your class. Miss Momo doesn't have much time before she has to study atomic structure to perfect her archery technique. I just nodded awkwardly. I approached them, and Miss Momo then created 2 wooden swords. I took them and saw that these swords were quite good. Before I start this training, I want to ask, how much do you understand about swordsmanship? Momo then explained what he knew about swordsmanship. Well, swordsmanship refers to the skill and techniques involved in fighting with a sword, encompassing both offensive and defensive tactics and training. At least that's what I know. I nodded my head. She was right. So I started the training. We start this exercise with a stance. I wonder how strong your stance is. Momo then followed my orders. She gave everything she had. Her stance is average. Good, keep it up. Now I will try to attack you, and your job is to block my attacks. I won't be using too much force, so be prepared. I attacked Miss Momo. Even though the force I used wasn't that great, it was enough to make any teenager stumble. But it seems like her training with Arash is helping her now. She's stronger than she was 2 months ago. She's still a long way from Izuku, but I can see her becoming a great hero. That is if she wants to be a heroine. Miss Momo is not the type of person who attacks or defends by instinct. So every time she wants to attack and defend, she will continue to think about the best way. If she is a caster, maybe this is good, but we're practicing swordsmanship. Sometimes the best move is the instinctive move that triggers because you already know how to beat it. So I will make Miss Momo instinctively able to ward off all my attacks. But with a little opening so she can think of a good attack, from what was initially just thinking to instinct, that's my goal for now. We're done with today's practice, Miss Momo. If you have any questions, ask now. Miss Momo looked hesitant to ask, but finally she said, "Why are you guys so strong? And why don't you become heroes even though you are strong like this?" I was silent, but Arash chuckled. "Actually, we are not strong people, we just know a few tricks with our powers. And also, why don't we become heroes?" Good question. I feel like I don't deserve to be a hero, that's why. Arash wasn't wrong. We both never felt that we deserved to be heroes, so that's what brought us together. But Dimon, Arash, he also dragged me to teach Miss Momo how to use the sword. But isn't being a hero more profitable than working as a bodyguard and driver here? Why don't you guys just be heroes? You're not wrong, but there's one thing I feel I don't deserve to be a hero, even though heroes are paid well. Actually, I don't have the confidence that I can save many people. Miss Momo looked at me strangely, then she said, "Aren't all heroes unable to save everyone? Why are you not confident when even other heroes can't save everyone?" I smiled. I looked up at the sky and said, "Sometimes I also feel like it's okay. I can be a hero, but the fact is I can't help someone. What's the point of being a hero if I can't save someone?" Miss Momo was silent. I saw her clenching her fists. With my left hand, I patted her head. "No need to be so gloomy. Does Miss Momo want to be a hero?" When I asked like that, I could see there was a fire of passion in Miss Momo's eyes. I smiled when I saw this. It turned out that the lady who was being trained was someone who had the will to become a heroine. If you want to be a strong heroine who can save many people, who can help many people, then you have to train harder. I've seen kids your age who train harder every time they train. His body screams in pain, but did he stop? He kept moving forward until his body stopped moving. Even so, he wasn't finished. He could still crawl. He crawled until he reached his destination. Only after he fainted did his training finish. Do you have such determination? Miss Momo was silent. She was probably thinking whether there were really children her age doing hellish training like that. Maybe later Miss Momo will meet Izuku. I don't know. I don't know if I have the strong determination like the one you said, but I will be a heroine. Not the strong type. I'm not strong, but I want to be a hero who can do many things. I want to save many people. Arash and I smiled, seeing her determination. We both felt a little embarrassed, you know. Helping people by becoming heroes isn't bad. Alright, we'll start training to become heroines tomorrow. For now, Miss Momo can rest because tomorrow will be a tough day. I don't know if what I'm doing is right, but please guide me in training Miss Momo to become the heroine she wants to be. My king, Arthoria, give me some stone. Support me under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. Comment. Chapter 25. Da Vinci New Manga. Snapper the Vigilante. There is a villain attack. The heroes struggle to defeat the villain, but the villain is very strong until finally the top-list hero appears and saves the day. A very significant difference. Top-list heroes are stronger. They usually graduated from famous hero schools. They have more experience and knowledge in using their quirks to the point where they can compress that power and release it, creating a power surge, and this is enough to defeat at least almost all villains. Several days passed, and the vigilante, named Smile, had helped many people. Smile was not the type to immediately defeat a villain, but he first asked the reason why the villain did it. And the answer Smile got was injustice for those who have mutant quirks. This has been a problem for a long time. Smile can't do anything, and having no solution for the villain, Smile finally defeated the villain and disappeared from public view. In Da Vinci's basement. "Hey Davi-chan, I have a headache. I have a headache thinking about how to reduce discrimination against mutants. I can't bear it. They are also human. Why should we unite? I'm sure if we can unite, then peace will happen and the villain attacks will decrease." Da Vinci just shook her head. She also didn't know a quick way to reduce discrimination. But then he remembered one thing. Why doesn't he create new works? About mutants who fight for justice. Da Vinci then proposed this to Inko. Mom, how about we create a project? A project to reduce the level of discrimination against mutants? I will make a manga. A manga about mutants fighting for justice. Inko was shocked. She felt that this could reduce discrimination against mutants if it got enough exposure, and what could be bigger than Da Vinci's work now? Finally, Inko and Da Vinci started making the manga. They started with the background of the main character. Mom, I wonder what mutation this main character has. I'm thinking between reptile and mammal, which one is better? Inko thought hard, then Inko remembered the crocodile villain she fought when she first debuted. His power, if he became a hero, would definitely be cool. What if we give this main character a reptile mutation? We make him a combination of a crocodile and a turtle, a snapping turtle? Well, we made him have the mutation quirk of the snapping turtle. Seeing Inko's excitement, Da Vinci also got excited. She then added how his power would work later. I like your idea, Mom. We can also increase the power to control water, skin hardening, extreme reflexes, and his ability to use weapons. I will make Izuku a model. With his eternal arm mastery, we can get information on how to use various types of weapons. Inko nodded happily. She also felt like she was young again. Back to her childhood, where she designed her heroic story, a story where she could be the main character fighting against injustice that occurs in various parts of the world. Then we make the main character have mentors, 7 mentors, who will teach him how to use his powers properly. Leonitis will be his first teacher, the teacher who sculpts the main character to become stronger. Inko suggested happily. Da Vinci also agreed with Inko's idea. She herself thought of making the main character's journey darker. But Inko doesn't agree. Da Vinci then persuaded Inko. He explained that this had to be done so that many people would sympathize with the situation of the mutants. That way, discrimination will decrease, and mutants that get discriminated against too will also have an idea that they too can be heroes. Great hero. Finally, Inko gave in. She agreed to what Da Vinci asked. The story will be a little dark, telling about the rotten side of humans, diving deep into the underworld, a terrible place, a place that does not receive the light of the symbol of peace. After that, Da Vinci started this project. Inko, who didn't know what to do, finally came out of the basement. Inko then looked at her watch, which showed 11 p.m. There was still time to patrol, so Inko decided to do one more patrol around Mizuta City. Quickly she used the Aegis armor with the exception that, if Odysseus had full body armor, Inko did not choose that. She left the head part because in the face part, Inko wore an eye mask. After being ready, Inko immediately shot up using her quirk. After a long time, her quirk, which was initially only able to lift small objects, had evolved to become stronger. Inko is so strong that she can lift 5 whole 5-story buildings at once. It's no wonder that she can fly fast too. Inko patrols with a smile. She always likes the feeling of the wind blowing against her when she flies. Not long after Inko arrived at her usual place, she sat there enjoying the beauty of the night in Mizuta City. The sound of the door opening surprised Inko. Inko reflexively turned her head towards the sound. That way Inko could see a man with a skinny appearance coming, with a body that looked sick. The man walked towards Inko. Sorry if I'm disturbing you, I just like sitting here. This place is quite memorable for me, the place where my teacher and I can see the view of this city. Inko was silent. She didn't know who this man was, but Inko could feel that this man was strong, very strong. Well, this place is very nice. You know, you can see everything from here. The night view is amazing too. Yes, may I ask why you chose to become a vigilante? I think if you become a hero, you will be more known to the public and not be criticized by others for using your quirk illegally. Inko turned her head. Her guess was right. The one beside her is a pro hero. He has a serious injury. Maybe that's also the reason why he can have this appearance. At first I didn't think that being an illegal hero was good, but one thing that convinced me was that the existing heroes weren't strong enough to fight the villains that appeared. All Might and other top-class heroes can't save everyone, so I will help as much as I can even if it's illegal. My name is Smile. I want to make people smile just like Nana. The skinny man was shocked. He initially wanted to catch a new vigilante who resembled Nana Shimura, but when he saw her in person, this smile vigilante resembled Nana Shimura. Why did you choose Nana? Aren't there many other female heroes you can imitate? Why Nana? I don't know, I think Nana has been my hero since I was little. I can't let go of my memory of her. She is the one who always smiles in any situation. I want to be like her, to be someone who can bring a smile to everyone I help. When Inko turned her face towards the skinny man disappeared, replaced by a large and strong figure. All Might, can we talk for a moment? Thanks for reading, guys. 300 collections. 300 people put this trash fanfic in their library, damn. By the way, this is the bonus. We reached 300 collections. And I really like playing MOBAs. Right now I'm playing Honor of Kings, HOK for short. I have been playing this game for a while. Any of you playing HOK? Oh, I nearly forgot. Give me some stone. Support me under ko-fi.com Endless Evolution. 5 comment. Chapter 26, Smile Meet All Might, The Truth. Inko POV. This is a day full of surprises. I don't know why, but when I met him, I could feel his sadness. He also asked me why I copied Nana's style. I know now why he is like that. Because he is Nana Shimura's student. He is All Might. A skinny man with a broken body. What made All Might suffer such damage to his body? Villain? As far as I know, there is no villain stronger than him. He the one who killed Nana. All for one. All Might invite me to talk, but my mind is in chaos right now. I don't know what to do. Sorry, All Might, I can't talk to you right now. Maybe we can meet back here tomorrow at 11 p.m. I thought there is something I want to tell you too. With that I disappeared from All Might's sight. With presence concealment I disappeared into the darkness of the night. Third POV. All Might stood on the roof of a tall building alone. He took his phone and called Nizu. Yes, she is not what we initially thought. No, she is not hostile. She's quite nice too, and she's a fan of Nana Shimura. Her name is Smile. And she is strong. Yes, she also asked me to meet again tomorrow. Don't worry, I'm still very strong. Well, that's all I can tell you. After making the call, All Might left. He didn't want to stay here for long. With his worsening condition, he shouldn't be out for too long at night because his sleep schedule could be disrupted. Sheet, here we go again. Meanwhile, at the Midoriya mansion, Inko comes back from her patrol. She then tells Da Vinci everything that happened during the patrol, including meeting All Might, and agrees to meet him tomorrow. Da Vinci, who heard this, immediately suggested that later she invite All Might to the mansion. But why should we invite All Might here? Inko asked, and Da Vinci just smiled and replied. Didn't you say earlier that All Might was Nana Shimura's student? And also his body was destroyed, leaving only a thin and sickly body. If All Might are our friends, isn't it our obligation to help? I don't know, I don't think it's a good idea, but I think if All Might acts friendly and can be trusted, I'll follow your suggestion, Davi-chan. Da Vinci smiled. She knew Inko was still at the stage of not wanting her family to be threatened. But who would want to threaten this family if there are 7 servants, 1 person who has servant power, and 1 person who is Mstring Jacob's limb? Don't worry, Mom, have you forgotten? We were originally in Izuku's subconscious. If we want, we can control Izuku's body when he is in danger. Achilles and Sasaki are enough to protect Izuku, let alone Sir Lancelot, who can go berserk to protect Izuku. Inko was silent. In her hesitation, she finally agreed. Inko then walked to the large tube in the basement. There is Nana Shimura's body there. Initially this body was not complete. Her hands were missing, but Da Vinci made a homunculus with Nana's DNA and put them together to make Nana's body perfect. By the way, Mom, I have bad news and good news. Inko turned to look at Da Vinci. What is it, Davi-chan? The news you said is good and bad. The good news is that I found out that you are related to Nana Shimura by blood, and Nana's body lacks the quirk factor, which indicates that her quirk is gone. Inko was stunned. She has a blood relation with Nana Shimura? But Inko herself grew up in an orphanage. So all this time, Nana Shimura was Inko's relative. So I'm Nana Shimura's relative? What? Why am I abandoned by my family? Don't they have hero relatives? Why abandoned me? Inko feels sad. She grew up in an orphanage without knowing that she still had a family. She even thought that her family all died because of the villain attack. But it turns out she was abandoned by them. Why? Are they afraid that there will be villains who will attack their family? Da Vinci walked over to Inko. She then hugged her and said, "Mom, listen to the bad news first. Nana Shimura's family all died. They were killed because of something mysterious. If you look at the situation, what happened was a quirk outburst. But considering that Nana Shimura is a famous heroine, it can be concluded that the villain took revenge on Nana by killing her family." Inko was stunned again. Everything she thought came true. Everything was revealed. So the reason why they abandoned Inko was none other than to save her. Da Vinci, please help me. While crying, Inko asked Da Vinci to help her, to help collect data about the villain who destroyed Nana's family. The next day, 11 o'clock at night, Inko stood with a facial expression that depicted anger and sadness. All Might who came there were shocked. Did he do something wrong? Thus, their meeting officially began. Inko faced All Might. With clenched fists, Inko said, "I have bad news. Actually, I have found Nana Shimura's body. Her body is in the hands of a villain who claims his name is All for One. He is also responsible for her death." All Might was shocked. This vigilante smile knows All for One. Moreover, she found Nana's body. Hearing that, All Might feels happy and shakes Inko's shoulder. "Is what you said true? You found Nana's body. Where is her body now?" All Might have felt happy. Finally, he found news about his teacher, even though his teacher had been dead for a long time, but at least he could bury her properly after this. "Yes, and you can visit later to see it, and also, my daughter wants to meet you. She wants to try to heal you, also how much you know about this All for One." All Might then replied, "How do I start it? Once upon a time, when the world was in chaos, there was one person with a quirk who could take and give other people's quirks. The name of his quirk is All for One, and that is also his moniker as a demon king. All for One has a younger sibling who he initially thought didn't have a quirk, so he gave his younger sibling the quirk stockpile power, but he didn't know that his younger sibling had a quirk that could be passed on to other people. The name of the quirk is One for All, a quirk created from the fusion of the stockpile power quirk and the original quirk from All for One's little brother." Inko was shocked. It turned out that All for One was someone who had lived for a long time. With many quirks, he forcibly took many quirks that he thought were good. So, what does All for One and One for All have to do with Nana Shimura? Don't say that Nana Shimura is a One for All user. Sighing, All Might then said, "That's right, Nana Shimura, my teacher, is one of the One for All users. She passed on the One for All quirk to me." Inko was silent. She then remembered what Da Vinci said, that Nana Shimura lacked a quirk, a factor that caused her body to not have a quirk. With his mind increasingly scattered, Inko stopped the conversation. Inko then gave the address of her mansion and asked All Might to meet her there. "You can bring a friend you can trust there. There are many things we need to talk about, especially All for One." With that, Inko disappeared from All Might's sight again, leaving All Might alone there again. She's gone again, but Agasaima? It's a bit far from UA, but I'll take Gran Torino and Nizu there. Give me some stone. DMN 50 power stone and 300 collection. You know what, right now I writing chapter 34 and guess how much word I put into that chapter? 2K? 3K? 4K? I wish. 5K? Hope so. 6K? That Fukin chapter 6K word and I need 2 days to complete that. Give me some stone so I don't burn out. Support me hee under ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment 3 comment. Chapter 27. The truth about their quirk. All Might POV. Wow, this mansion is huge, so huge it could probably rival UA in size. I wonder what her job is that she can have a mansion this big. Now I am in front of the entrance gate of this mansion, exactly at the address given by Smile. I'm also with Nizu and Gran Torino. We both want to make sure that they really have Nana's body and this isn't a trap by All for One. Flashback. Hey Nizu, I got the address of the Vigilante Smile. She asked me to meet her there. She also said that she has Nana Shimura's body. Should we gather a team to go there? I'm not sure this will be safe, and I also remember that All for One is emster at playing games like this. I saw Nizu was silent. I saw him sipping his drink, and he agreed. I will gather some people I can trust, but we must not be seen bringing them in. Who should we bring in? Gran Torino maybe. Since he has a friendly relationship with Nana. I nodded. Gran Torino also needs the certainty. He needs certainty that Nana Shimura is dead and her body has been found. Good idea. Now, who are the team members that we are gathering? Maybe Mirko, Best Genist, Edge Shot, and Eraserhead. I think they are enough to infiltrate. Okay, let's get ready. I hope this isn't a trap, and I hope I'll find my teacher's body. And a flashback. Attention to the rescue team, we will enter the building. If there is no further contact after 30 minutes, please enter the building. Nizu gives the signal to the rescue team consisting of Mirko, Best Genist, Edge Shot, and Eraserhead. I rang the bell in front of the gate. Not long after that, a maid came and opened the gate. The three of us entered the mansion. I walked a bit awkwardly because the mansion was so appealing, and it didn't match our expectations that this was a trap. We were greeted with an appealing view of the mansion. Perhaps this view can only be seen in rich people's homes. Technically I could own a mansion like this, but I don't want to waste my money on things like that. I'd rather help others with my money than enrich myself. We were guided until we finally met the owner of this mansion in the living room. I saw Nana Shimura. She was alive. Hey All Might and there's Gran Torino. I'm your fan. I like your fighting style, which relies on high speed and precise attacks. It turns out she's not Nana Shimura. She smiled. I was disappointed, as was Gran Torino. He was extremely disappointed, but he wasn't that disappointed when Smile said she was his fan. I'm surprised there are still people who idolize me. I'm old too and no longer active in the world of heroism. Smile enthusiastically said, Of course, you are Nana's friend. I always see you and Nana fighting together. I even imitate your moves. I got carried away, but for now, follow me. Shortly after, Smile took us to the basement, and there I could say I was shocked. Since the basement is full of research objects, there are many bodies in the tubes there. At first I was angry. I thought Smile was a bad person because of this, but after he explained that this was the result of genetic cloning based on alchemy, I was speechless. I have no idea at all. But Nizu seems interested in this research. With his high IQ, it can be said that Nizu can be quite a difficult conversation partner for anyone. We walked deeper into the basement. Until we see a girl, she is making something clothes? With lots of weird symbols, and they are lit up. When we arrived at the core of the basement, Smile then said to the girl, Davi-chan, I've brought them all here, you can start. Our meeting. Thus began our meeting. Third POV. Inko, Da Vinci, All Might, Nizu, and Gran Torino are explaining what they know about All for One. After knowing enough about All for One, Da Vinci then smiled. This earned her strange looks from the heroes. I'm sorry, I just find this very interesting. If what you said about All for One is true, then he is not that strong now. His body is also the same as All Might's now. His body must have started to get side effects. All Might and Gran Torino are confused. Meanwhile, Nizu starts to analyze what Da Vinci means. But Nizu suddenly remembered something. Da Vinci had mentioned side effects earlier, and the information he had gotten earlier was about All for One, who could take other people's quirks. You mean quirk singularity? That's possible, but I doubt it with the many quirks he has. I believe he has another quirk that has the power to withstand the side effects. Da Vinci shook her head, then she explained. No, you forgot something. Quirk singularity. Quirks will evolve beyond human capabilities. All for One doesn't have many modern quirks because of this theory, and his powers don't work like that either. His body still feels the effects of the quirk singularity even though he has a quirk that can strengthen his body. Nizu then asked again, Why are you so sure about that? We don't even know the limits of All for One yet. Fufu, are you confused? All Might is by your side, isn't he? Doesn't All for One have a younger brother? And his younger brother has a quirk that is similar to All for One in terms of side effects. All Might, this time the one who was shocked. He then asked Da Vinci, "What does that mean, young lady? Do you know anything about one for all?" Da Vinci chuckled, then he explained it. "Actually, before our meeting, I always wondered where Nana Shimura's quirk went, but when I saw you, I knew that Nana Shimura's quirk was inside your body, All Might." All Might was shocked again. He was confused about what Da Vinci meant, so he asked her what she meant. "What do you mean, young lady? Nana Shimura's quirk is inside my body. I only have the power that can strengthen my body." "Ah, you must be confused, but actually your quirk is similar to Izuku's quirk, my little brother. My brother's quirk allows him to have a wide variety of powers as long as his body is strong enough to withstand the burden of that power. In other words, the stronger Izuku's body is, the more power he can contain." Da Vinci then continued her words, "But the power of one for all is unique. This power becomes stronger with each generation. As you said, All for One gave his younger brother the stockpile power quirk, and the key is in this quirk stockpile power. The power accumulates and becomes one for all." Nizu realized one thing. He realized that the one for all mechanism was like filling water into a container. The container was the same, but the volume of water always increased every time it was moved to another container. And if the container already has water quirk, then the container will overflow, and a quirk singularity will occur. "So you said that Nana's quirk is inside All Might's body, but how do you know that Nana's quirk is inside All Might's body?" This time it was Gran Torino who asked. He looked more or less disappointed, maybe because he saw Inko who looked like Nana, and it reminded him of the past. Da Vinci laughed, but seeing that she had been rude, Da Vinci apologized. "Didn't I tell you that one for all is similar to my little brother Izuku's quirk? I'll give you an example. Every human who has a quirk has their DNA in there. Each strong quirk can have its own consciousness. Why can I say this? Because Izuku is also the same type. Izuku has 7 people with their own consciousness. I am one of them. Surprised? Not yet. Later I will show you something more surprising. I can only say that if All Might succeeds in awakening his quirk, then he can meet the previous one for all users, including Nana, and maybe we can revive Nana." This time Nizu was shocked. He didn't understand what Da Vinci meant. She was a quirk consciousness? And they can bring Nana back to life? Sounds like something out of science fiction. Wait a minute, what do you mean you're a quirk consciousness? Aren't you here? With a living body. Fufu, there you are wrong. Have you ever read my work? A story about a hero who was called to help the Emsar win the war? Yes, we are heroic spirits. And I can feel the 7 heroic spirits in All Might's body that have not yet awakened. Wait a minute, you're Da Vinci, but you're quirk conscious? How is that possible? Don't tell me everything you say in your book about magic is true. But how? It's not logic. Nizu was extremely shocked. If the person in front of him was really Da Vinci, then it was very likely that she was a heroic spirit like the one she wrote about in her book. What can I say? I'm too much of a genius for this world. I can make all this stuff you see in the basement with whatever materials I have. So, do you want to make All Might healthy again and make him awaken his quirk?" Hearing Da Vinci's words, All Might suddenly stood up. He then bowed his body. He then said, "Please help me recover and awaken my quirk. I will pay anything for it." Da Vinci smiled. She then said, "I will grant it as long as you give my mom her hero license." Nizu chuckled. He agreed to Da Vinci's request. But because it was very easy, they just had to make Smile All Might's sidekick for a while, and Smile would get her license. After they agreed with that, they finally turned their attention to the largest tube in the basement. There was the body of a woman who was intact. She was Nana Shimura. All Might and Gran Torino held the glass tube with nostalgia, seeing Nana back after so long. It felt like they could go back to the past when Nana was still alive. So, later All Might awakens the quirk one for all and can access his subconscious and meet previous one for all users. Will you bring Nana back to life in this body, this perfect body? All Might clenched his fists. He himself didn't know what he should choose, but suddenly, Inko, who had been silent all this time, finally spoke up. She said, "I want to revive Nana. I want to know why I am related to her by blood, who I am to her. I want to ask these things, So please give me a chance to bring Nana back to life. They were all shocked by what Inko said. All Might and Gran Torino didn't know what to say. Could it be that Inko had blood ties with Nana? But Nana's family, as known by Gran Torino, only had one son who grew up without Nana's love because she was afraid that All for One would target her family. All Might sighed. He then said, I can't decide this. I will tell Nana later if I can communicate with Nana whether she wants to come back to life. Inko looks a bit disappointed, but forcing a dead person to come back to life is unethical. So Inko understands it, just a little disappointed that it doesn't change everything. In the end, Inko thinks that time will answer her questions. Ring ring. The phone on the basement table rang. Da Vinci then picked up the phone. He found that it was Sasaki who was calling him. Yes, Sasaki-san, what's wrong? Da Vinci asked in confusion. There are intruders, rabbits, ninjas, men with strange styles, and men who look like they haven't slept in 3 days. What should I do with them? Da Vinci, who heard Sasaki's words, immediately turned to look at Nizu, All Might, and Gran Torino. Those who were stared at by Da Vinci just turned their faces away with guilt. Sasaki-san, don't do anything to them. I and the others will go upstairs and gather them in the living room. After that, Da Vinci turned off his phone. He then turned towards the three of them, and with a slightly annoyed face, Da Vinci said, If you don't tell me what happened now, I will make you regret it. Glup. With sweat pouring down, the three of them could only nod and explain. This Da Vinci is too scary. Diamond dude 2K chapters for this one. By the way, I lied when I said chapter 34 was 6K words. Because what? Because that Fukin chapter becomes 7K words. I don't even know how the hell I write that sheet in 2 days. Now give me some stone or IDK. By the way, chapter 30 to 33 is 2K chapter, and I write that in 1 day. Now imagine my 3 days worth of chapter can't even compared with my 2 days 7K chapter. I'm beat. Support me hee under ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment. 6 comment. Chapter 28. That drag man is All Might? Third POV. As Sasaki was walking around the mansion, he felt something was wrong. He immediately disappeared from the mansion and appeared not far from the mansion. There he saw a person dressed strangely, making a plan. When will that midget Nizu call us? Is it true that he fell into a trap? Arg, this boredom is killing me. Be patient, Mirko. The time isn't right yet. Didn't Nizu give a signal that if they don't respond for 30 minutes, then we can enter? Sasaki realized something. They were a team created to anticipate if this mansion was a trap. 30 minutes passed, and Nizu had not contacted them. In panic, they started their plan. Sasaki, who saw this, could only be stunned by this situation. But just as they approached the mansion's entrance gate, Sasaki appeared and blocked them. Who are you? Get out of my way, or I'll break your bones, Mirko said with a grin. Eraserhead feels something is wrong. Could it be that the man in front of them was strong? But they couldn't tell how strong the man was because the man didn't give off any aura. He was like a ghost. Even they felt that he was not actually there. You know what, I'm going to knock you guys out so it won't take too long. Just stay where you are and don't fight back. Sasaki with his Nodachi prepares to attack. He quickly attacks the heroes. And the heroes don't want to lose just like that, so Best Genist with his quirk constructs a thread. The thread is strong enough to hold many villains, but Sasaki easily cuts the thread. Edge Shot, who saw this, immediately attacked. With his quirk, he shot forward quickly. With a body like a sharp thread, Edge Shot shot towards Sasaki quickly. But Sasaki easily avoided Edge Shot's attack. Mirko, who saw this, grinned. After Leonitis, there was now someone else who could make her want to fight. Mirko quickly launched a series of attacks, but all of her attacks were blocked by Sasaki's Nodachi handle. And Eraserhead, who had been using his quirk, was confused. He then realized that Sasaki had never used his quirk. Guys, we're in trouble. He's not using his quirk. Everything he's done so far is from his physical ability, not his quirk. Suddenly the heroes were shocked by Eraserhead's words. They then changed their attacks because all their attacks did not hit Sasaki. Ah man, I feel bored. Okay, I'll be a bit serious. After Sasaki said that, he disappeared. At first the other heroes were confused about what Sasaki meant until they felt a blunt object hit the back of their necks. Eraserhead, Edge Shot, and Best Jeanist passed out after that, leaving Mirko, who had insane endurance. She didn't faint even after her nape was attacked. What the heck is that? How could you do something like that? You make me angry. Mirko blindly attacks Sasaki with unstoppable anger. Every attack of Mirko's is a fatal attack, but Sasaki can easily block the attack. Sasaki, who was bored, immediately used Tsubeim Geishi. Quickly, 3 attacks were launched simultaneously, and Mirko's instincts screamed loudly. Mirko tried to avoid Sasaki's attack, but she couldn't. Her body wasn't fast enough. Her body was like frozen in place. 3 Sasaki attacks landed on Mirko's body. Mirko, who was hit, immediately fainted. Sasaki finally took out his phone and called Da Vinci. "Yes, Sasaki-san, what's wrong?" Da Vinci asked in confusion. "There are intruders, rabbits, ninjas, men with strange styles, and men who look like they haven't slept in 3 days. What should I do with them?" Da Vinci then continued her words. "Sasaki-san, don't do anything to them. I and the others will go upstairs and gather them in the living room." Sasaki could only shrug his shoulders. What could he do but bring these heroes into the living room? Sasaki then tells the other servants to help him, including Leonitis, Lancelot, and Achilles, while Sasaki? He reasons that he has defeated them, so he wants to rest. The servants took the heroes to the living room while waiting for Da Vinci and the others to arrive. Sasaki, who was still with them, took out his phone again. He called Arash and Bedivere to come to the mansion immediately. Shortly after that, Arash and Bedivere materialized themselves in the living room. They were a little confused about what happened. Sasaki himself didn't explain anything about this. Finally, Da Vinci and the others arrived in the living room. Those who had just arrived were shocked because they saw 6 strong people, so strong they could feel it. Da Vinci just smiling at their behavior. It seemed like Sasaki wanted to show who was the boss here. He literally wants to assert his demps. Da Vinci then woke up the heroes who had fainted. He then welcomed them well, but Mirko, who had just woken up, saw Leonitis, and what happened was chaos. Mirko quickly attacked Leonitis again, making a mess of the living room. Da Vinci angrily uses displacement magic and transports them to the training ground. "So, can we talk calmly? I don't like this mess, and Nizu, please tell me why this happened." Nizu then said that he actually created a rescue team to anticipate that this was an all-for-one trap. Da Vinci, who heard this, couldn't get angry because it made sense. Taking a deep breath, Da Vinci said, "Alright, now we'll talk about All Might. In the meantime, I've created a costume that can strengthen his body. Initially I made this costume for Izuku, but considering that All Might needs this more, I will give it to All Might first. This costume can extend the lifespan of All Might's power from the previous 5 hours to 12 hours, but make no mistake, you still can't exceed 9 hours if you don't want your body to get weaker." All Might smiled widely. Finally, he could operate longer. 9 hours was a lot of time considering All Might could defeat many villains quickly. "Thank you, young lady. With this, I can help more people." While All Might, Nizu, and Gran Torino are happy, there are also heroes who are confused. Eraserhead, Edge Shot, and Best Jeanist are confused about what they are saying. Making costumes for All Might? All Might have a time limit? All Might be weakening? They don't understand what's going on. Seeing that the other heroes didn't understand what was happening, All Might removed his transformation, his big, muscular body disappearing and being replaced by a skinny body. "I received an injury that destroyed many of my organs. Day by day my body weakened to this point. The villain I fought was too strong. In fact, he had lived longer than anyone else. The name is All For One." When All Might was explaining what happened, suddenly they heard a scream. It was none other than Izuku, who had just come home from school. "What the hell? That drag man is All Might. You must be kidding. I must still be asleep. It's just a dream. Fuck, is that Eraserhead? Wait. That ninja hero, Edge Shot, and Best Jeanist, and Gran Torino? Yup, definitely, I'm still sleeping." Izuku looked at the heroes in confusion. Bonus chapter guys, I can't imagine we received 81 stone, So this is the bonus chapter, one said. Give me more stone. Enjoy this chapter. Support me under ko-fi.com endless evolution. Comment 3 comment. Chapter 29. Chaos in Midoriya Resident. Izuku POV. How do you feel when you know that your idol hero is in front of you? But the appearance is not the same as what you imagined, and apparently he looks like someone who is addicted to drags. Do you still want to believe that it's the same person? Of course not, at least I don't believe it. I don't believe that All Might would be like that, but the fact is what I saw was reality. I was just in denial about all of this. This makes me wonder why All Might could end up in such a state. During his career fighting villains, no one has been able to even make him unleash his full power. But he was hurt by the villain who, according to Da Vinci, was called All for One. Is there anything else that I don't know and is still being hidden from me? The last thing I want is for me to have a grandma. P.S. Don't jinx it, young man. So you're saying that All Might was badly injured by this villain named All for One? How could that be possible? How strong is he that he could seriously injure All Might? All Might cleared his throat. He then explained how strong All for One was. Overall, he is very strong, so strong that even I have difficulty. He has many quirks too, so many that I'm sure even he himself is confused about which one to use. This time it was my turn to be surprised. If that's the case, All for One could have many other destructive quirks that he has never used before. And if he used that, Japan could be destroyed. Somehow I feel like he's really going to be a tough enemy. Hearing my words, the heroes who knew All for One chuckled. Maybe they knew more about how terrible All for One was. It's not only difficult because he is a monster, the Demon King. His immense power and the way he uses it efficiently make him extremely strong. If it weren't for him underestimating me, I'm sure I wouldn't even be able to land a hit on him. I am speechless. If that's the case, he will be a big threat to heroes. With his title as the Demon King, I'm afraid that he will be interested in my quirk, but I hope I still have time to grow. But I remembered something. In front of me is All Might, my idol. I quickly ran to my room, leaving everyone confused. They must have thought there was something wrong with me, but actually I just wanted to grab all my merch. I want my merch signed by All Might. Using displacement magic, I put all my merch into the box. I didn't want to waste time. After all, my merch was in the big box, and I came back to the living room. All Might, please sign it, I beg you. All of them who saw my behavior just shook their heads. What do they know about being a fan? But luckily, All Might was willing to sign all of my merch. Mwah, I am a fan above all others. All of my merch has All Might's signature. With that I went back to my room and organized all my merch. Third POV. By the way, since we've gotten to this point, I'd like to ask one more thing. This time it was Inko who spoke. She then walked away and brought a girl to the living room. This is my other daughter. Her name is Himiko, Midoriya Himiko. I want Himiko to have a guaranteed identity and be free from the accusations she received. Nizu took a sip of his drink. He then looked at Himiko carefully, and then he remembered a news story with the same perpetrator's name, Himiko Toga. Is your daughter's name Toga Himiko? What he wanted, Tsubeim Geishi, Sasaki's technique that made his training difficult. His relationship with his classmates also started to improve. This was because Izuku learned to forgive them, although he had not completely forgiven Bakugo, but at least he did not hate him. During this 1 year, Izuku also gained one of Achilles' powers as well, Dramas Kants. Flashback. Hey Izuku, I see your training is enough, so you can use at least one of my Nobel Phantasms. I pass this power to you, Dramas Kants. Use it wisely. Thank you, Achilles. I promise to use this power wisely. And a flashback. With this noble phantasm, you could say that Izuku becomes speed itself. Maybe that's a bit of an exaggeration, but his speed is really crazy. Just like Achilles, who has the nickname of the fastest human, Izuku can also be said to be the fastest human junior with that speed and the combination of Tsubeim Geishi. Izuku can easily defeat his enemies, although he has not been able to defeat Sasaki in his training. But he managed to defeat Da Vinci's golem, which was installed to be a dummy. And let's just say that Da Vinci was angry when Izuku destroyed many golems at the same time. Occasionally, Izuku can also meet All Might. He often sees All Might alone with his mother. Without suspecting anything, however, Izuku could see that the relationship between the two was very good. Izuku also doesn't mind if All Might and his mother are in a relationship. He's happy if his mother is happy too, and also, having your idol as your father doesn't sound bad. Actually, Izuku was a little surprised because his mother is a hero now. He initially didn't know this, but when he watched TV, suddenly All Might had a new sidekick, and this sidekick was a former vigilante named Smile. Smile is his mother, and he was so shocked when he found out about it. Well, Izuku quickly accepted the fact. Even though he was a little worried about this, he was happy to see Inko happy. Speaking of relationships, Izuku and Jiro have become close friends. They always exchange ideas when they want to make music. They even have their own music channel on HeroTube. Now, Izuku is walking towards his house, with appealing scenery and shady trees. Izuku is humming a tune while walking. There was a sound of an explosion. For some reason, hearing the sound of an explosion had become Izuku's habit now. This happened because Mirko and Leonitis, they were both like cat and mouse. They couldn't keep still. 1 year has passed, and they are still like this. This makes the other servants curious whether they are not tired of all this. Until they found out a fact. The fact that Mirko and Leonitis liked each other but didn't want to express their feelings. What a messed up relationship. I hope my love story is not like theirs. It gives me goosebumps every time I see them fight. How can I fight every day with my girlfriend? It's very illogical. Not long after, Izuku arrived at his room. He went in and changed his clothes, then he opened his HeroTube channel. This channel is the same channel that Vinci created to upload his training videos. Now this channel has developed into a music channel that has a fairly well-known name because Izuku often makes songs with Jiro and uploads them here. Jiro also has her own channel, and she has also become quite a famous person, maybe because her mother and father are involved in the music world, making Jiro more easily recognized. Even though they have become friends, Izuku still can't call Jiro by her name, Kyoka. He doesn't know. Every time Izuku calls Jiro, Kyoka, she gets embarrassed. Demon, my training video already has 1 million likes. Sometimes I feel weird about other people watching this. What's so entertaining about watching me clean the beach? And after many people liked my training video, there were also those who copied it. They went to another polluted beach and cleaned it up. At least they cleaned that beach up. Oh yeah, I forgot that now my opponent is Achilles. With his high speed, I don't even think I can hit him. Ah, what a drag. Then he gets ready for training at the training ground. After getting ready, he walked towards the training ground. On the way, he met Himiko. Hey sis, how is school now? Himiko smiled and said, the school is quite fun. In class 1B there are many unique people. I'm already familiar with them. Himiko then continued. Oh, and also I will go to the USJ. They say that place is big and has lots of rescue simulations. I happened to get the chance to do a rescue mission in there. I'm so happy. You should also be able to get into UA, Izuku-kun. Izuku also smiled. He nodded his head and said, of course, I will enter UA and I will become a hero. Do you want to train too, sis? I think mom is at the training ground. Himiko nodded. Yes, I made a promise with mother to train, well, because mother was worried that I wasn't strong enough for hero work. But I will prove that I am tough enough to be a hero. I like your enthusiasm, sis. Come on, hurry up before we are late and mom punishes you for it. They ran to the training ground. When they arrived, the training ground was still not repaired from Mirko and Leonitis' fight. Even though this training ground is large, what was destroyed was Izuku's favorite place to train. With a heavy heart, Izuku went to another part of the training ground. There, Izuku saw Achilles sitting while looking at his phone. It seems like he's also enjoying looking at social media. Izuku, who saw this, could only hope that Achilles didn't respond to the people at HeroX. Achilles realized that Izuku had arrived. He put his phone away and stood up. Izuku, who saw this, smiled. Finally, he could try fighting Achilles. Even though it's impossible to win because one of his noble phantasms is too cheaty. Are you ready, kiddo? I won't hold back. Well, I'll still hold back, but at least I can attack you more freely. Izuku was silent. Maybe this was his really serious fight. When he first fought Sasaki, Sasaki didn't even flinch. What Da Vinci said was that Sasaki got a buff because he is in Japan. He gained territorial advantage. No wonder he is stronger than what is reported. His strength is buffed by the land of Japan. Back to Achilles, he is ready to attack Izuku because Sasaki has trained Izuku how to use weapons. Now it is Achilles' turn to train Izuku in hand-to-hand combat. I am ready. After Izuku said ready, Achilles quickly attacked Izuku. Even though Izuku couldn't see it clearly, thanks to his skill, he could feel where Achilles' attack would come from. The difference in experience was so stark, Izuku could only survive Achilles' attacks. He then thought of a way. By using flash air, Izuku disappeared from Achilles' sight. Achilles, who felt that Izuku had disappeared, grinned. He then looked at the many portals that appeared. You're also a creative kiddo. Then I'll be a little serious too. The portals were connected to Izuku. When Izuku attacked Achilles, all his punches landed on Achilles, but Achilles didn't. He had a little trouble because every time he wanted to attack, his attack turned back to attack him. His punch that should have hit Izuku hit him. This is caused by displacement magic, or better known as flash air. Kiddo, your Magecraft is cheating. If you keep going like this, I'll be embarrassed, so clench your jaws. After saying that, Achilles disappeared, his speed increasing. Izuku, who heard his words, instinctively clenched his jaw. But the attack did not land on his jaw but on his leg. I fell for his words. He was just trying to manipulate my thoughts by saying he would attack my jaw. But Izuku, who was about to fall back, used flash air and disappeared from there. He then appeared behind Achilles. But Achilles easily kicked him, this time hitting him squarely in the stomach. Izuku, who was kicked by Achilles, was thrown away. Achilles did not waste this opportunity. He followed up the attack with a series of attacks. Achilles attacked Izuku. But Izuku didn't stay silent. He used transmutation to make the floor of the training grounds soft like mud and managed to trap Achilles. Even though it was only for a moment, this gave Izuku enough time to use Mana Burst. Seeing Izuku using Mana Burst, Achilles grinned. This time the attack became even more brutal. All of his attacks had already landed on Izuku's body before he even had time to activate flash air. Izuku was thrown back and hit the wall. However, fortunately, Izuku has skills from many servants, so he didn't fall down because of Achilles' attack this time. Ouch, I think my ribs are cracked. Izuku then tried to stand up. With a little difficulty, he was finally able to stand back up. Taking a deep breath, Izuku got back into his stance. Achilles, who saw this, smiled. He felt that Izuku was actually ready for the hero world, but he lacked experience in fighting. Because before he didn't fight, but more towards sparring, and those two things are different. Can you still fight? If not, I'll end this training. Achilles then saw Izuku shaking his head. He grinned seeing Izuku, who had not given up. Yes, that's it. Heroes never give up. Achilles returns with his fast attacks, but this time Izuku is able to dodge his attacks with some difficulty. Maybe because his body was screaming in pain, or because he didn't want to give up, Izuku continued to avoid Achilles' attacks. While avoiding Achilles' attacks, Izuku uses transmutation and reinforcement simultaneously. He changes the structure of the floor into the shape he wants. He forms it into tendrils. Then strengthening it using reinforcement, with it, Izuku started attacking Achilles. Now the tables have turned. Izuku attacks Achilles with all his strength. Every time his tendrils touch Achilles, the tendrils will explode. And every time an explosion occurs, Izuku can easily launch his attack, even though Achilles doesn't seem to be injured. But this managed to make Achilles furious. Using Dramas comps, Achilles shot forward, destroying all the tendrils that Izuku had created. Izuku, who saw this, panicked. He used all his strength to reinforce his body to withstand the attack. Izuku was thrown and lost consciousness. His ribs were crushed, the bones in his arms were broken, and many more. But Izuku is still alive, at least. Achilles then took Izuku to Da Vinci's basement. And Da Vinci could only shake her head. She was a little angry with Achilles because they agreed not to be too serious, but Achilles used his noble phantasm on Izuku. Luckily, Izuku could still be healed. Put Izuku-chan in there. Besides Achilles, didn't we agree not to use more force when training Izuku? Achilles scratched his head. Awkwardly, he said, "Blame Izuku. Why did he force me to be a little serious? You know I don't like to refuse a challenge." "Well, I'm sorry, I got carried away." This can only be a sign that Izuku is growing into the hero he wanted to be. Well, you can hope that Mom doesn't find out about this. The last thing you want is Mom asking me for divinity to teach you a lesson. Oh shit, you're right, I'll go first. Adios.